Warning: the following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome back to the Bard's Playhouse Presents Tales from Shadow Valley, Season 4, Episode 12, Both Alike in Dignity, Part 2. Thank you so much for joining us. Now let's bring in our wonderful cast. We have Eldritch as Khan, the Bloody Rizzolo.
Always great to be here, back in my usual locale.
It's wonderful to have you back. Shane as Umbromancer Zavid.
Shh, the baby's sleeping.
We'll try to be quiet. Elliot as Reese Guiltleaf, the Heartseeker.
You guys never know my locale.
And Ash as Queen Danny Arion.
Hey guys.
As always, I'm Lumby Bronzearm and will be your DM for today. Last time, Lux Et Umbra faced three great enemies: the dreaded Low Battery, the wrathful time zone differences, and the chaotic beast only known as Naptime, all rear their vicious heads. The onslaught was nearly too much to bear, cutting our adventure short. However, not before Zavid was able to gather some information. The disgusting sepsis demon that guarded the fire river atop Mount Skildmer was left high on the peak during Gunnar's coronation to Linorm King. As a powerful necromancer, Zavid realized this creature was no ordinary demon. It was an undead demon. Knowing that his former enemy, Ilkana Alinor, turned flesh golem ally, Liliana Thriceborn, had once sought the secrets of necrodaimancy, Zavid called her up at once. After the shock of seeing in the flesh what she spent a century striving for wore off, Liliana was able to fill in some details. The Demon Lord Shax, creator of the Babau Blood Demon, had long dangled the secrets of these magics in front of Ilkana. A carrot on a stick he used to manipulate the White Mother of Isker like a pawn in his great game. Upon realizing that the Lord of Murder had never intended to gift her with his secrets, Liliana's purpose was galvanized in her mind. Reaching back into the memory of Ilkana, her own yet not her own, Liliana recalled Shax once, decades prior, berating her for a minor failure. Shax roared that if she could not do his bidding, he would melt the lock himself. Having seen firsthand the theft of Skildmurray Heat, along with Pipette bearing witness to a blinding orb of fire being worked upon the Runeforge, it seems clear. Shax, Demon Lord of Murder, is planning to not only release Rovagug, but to turn the walls of the Dead Vault into molten slag, so none can imprison the rough beast ever again. This is where we come in today.
And if you just saw Eldridge's camera change size and shape, it definitely was not because her camera's back to normal now.
Yeah, we had to fix it from last time, when she was visiting us from the mystical land of Utah. But where we come in today is once again in the infinite floating void, where upon the horizon is the massive visage of Baba Yaga, flowers in her dress and her raven locks floating all about her. She looks down and says, "Welcome back, players. It is wonderful to see all of you again. New deck, new boons. Come forward, please, please. We've been too impersonal. Get comfortable. I have made a new deck for you, with many different characters that you have actually played and had other people actually play in your time with each other.
In an actual play.
Yes, in an actual play. But it appears that, Elliot, you get first choice of this deck, so please step forward. But remember, the only rule is you cannot pick your own Shadow Valley character. Who will it be?
Oh, well, if there's going to be a loophole, I'm going to pick my own character from the Phoenix game, the Ruby Phoenix, I think.
Crimson? Yes, Fists of the Ruby Phoenix.
Yeah. I'm going to Bubblegum Sweet. That's my homegirl. I miss her. She is one of my favorite NPCs, but one of my favorite characters I have played because she's just chaos in the best form.
Very well. Bubblegum Sweet, the Witch of Candy Mountain. And she reaches down her massive hand, flips over the card, and you see that there is the pink-skinned, pink-haired gnome with the purple witch's hat standing in front of you, with Splendor, her fox, flitting about her. She looks to you and says, "Oh, hey there. Overlady said that she wants me to, read something and give you a little poem, and well, Splendor, do you think you could read it?" "Surely, Mum. Of course." And he grabs a scroll from her backpack and it unfurls and floats in front of him, and Splendor begins to read. "What's the sitch?" asked the witch, fox pal floating behind. "Scritch the itch," said the eldritch, being whose magic's entwined. The gnome with a twitch discovered her niche, wings of a draconic kind. Each PC can cast a single usage of dragon form, 8th level, with a duration of 10 minutes. Normally, dragon form is a 1 minute spell, and Danny actually has it as a 6th level, so you can cast this, but yours only lasts a minute. But now, each of you, I will drop this in all of your inventories, has the ability to cast an 8th level dragon's form one time, and it'll last for 10 minutes.
I love that so much.
Okay, Con has it. Reese. Sorry, Fantasy Grounds is chugging a little slow, as all of you know. Okay, Reese has it. Then Zavid.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that would be kind of a fun one. I'm excited to see all of you use that. Okay, there's Zavid. You get one. And then...
Everybody goes dragon at the same time.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that's how I
Power
envisioned
Rangers
it,
style.
but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robocog, we walk up to dragons. Everybody just transforms right in front.
That was kind of how I imagined it, yeah. But if you're wanting to, we don't have to go over it because it's very, very long. But if anyone wants to look at the stats while we play, there's the stats for Dragon Form. If you scroll all the way to the bottom where it says heightened, those are the correct stats right there. But like I said, that's super duper long. We don't have to go over it. But yes, you now have a way to transform into dragons for 10 minutes, one time. Baba Yaga looks down to you, Bubblegum, Sweet, and Splendor look to you and say, "Well, we really hope this helps." "Aye, hopefully you can get all of this done, Mum, and good luck out there." And Bubblegum and Splendor, turn into a blue transparent hologram.
Oh, I love them.
Baba Yaga looks down to you and says, "Very well, the card has been chosen. Ta for now." She fades away once more into the distance. And that's where we come in properly today. If you have music, go ahead and turn it on. I need to get you a map. I apologize for that. I should have had that prepared. We are at the Longhouse. So it is the festivities of the night are kind of coming to an end. Gunnar has been crowned Lenorm King. Zavid, you've already gone back up to the mountain, learned all you learned about your new sepsis demon, what Shax is up to, all of these things. And it is the next morning. I already had Khan and Zavid roll your planet checks. Khan, you critically failed with a natural 1, so you do currently have the bad version of... what was that called? Seeker's Blindness. Zavid, you critically succeeded, so you have no issues. But it is the next morning. You've all had a long rest. And I believe you were... you come down to breakfast, and for once, Gunnar isn't cooking. He's being served food over at his throne. Anyanka is doing a bunch of paperwork near him. Ash, the red-haired, is seated at his right hand with his firewolf and firebirds, Freki and Moonin. And then Adelina is actually, the first to see would probably be Khan, who gets up earliest. Adelina says, "Well, hey there, Khan, good morning. Quite a night we had."
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It was fine. It was fine. It was so fine.
sorry, you're strung up a little tight there. You have no kid dream. Is there something happening?
No dreams. I feel fine. I feel better than fine. You know, if you're going back to Shadow Valley, then I could get back in my lab. I could
you're
maybe
feeling
work on some
strong?
projects that I've been putting off.
Oh, fantastic, yeah. You're looking mighty powerful. Yeah, you got a spark in your eye or something. I think killing that Lenorm might have gotten some residual effects from it.
Oh, there's nothing like coming close to death to spark one's creativity after all.
Can't imagine. Wish I could have been up there myself. But I always knew that big log had it in him. Oh, good morning, Zavid. as she sees you coming down from your room as well.
Good morning. Are we
I
just
don't know.
about ready?
I believe so. I got the Windseeker all packed up. Well, we're still supplying the Windseeker. We've got about a day. So, if you want to kick around town, or I think Con said something about going back to Shadow Valley. And do you have some kind of magic I don't know about? Because that's pretty dang far.
Yeah. We have something that is unique to us that we will be
Oh.
using.
Oh, aye. That's. You three never cease to amaze me. Well, I'll make sure that Gunnar supplies us with plenty of stuff to get under the Windseeker. I know we've got a bit of a fly down south to my ma's place. It should be a straight shot over the water. Not a big problem, but we do need some to resupply. It's been a hot second. So I suppose if you want to pop back there using your little magics, it should be no problem. We can leave first thing at Lawrence first light tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Does that sound good to
and
you, Con? And
Huh?
as you look over to her, she's writing on a chalkboard.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds just fine. That sounds just fine. I may have zoned out just a little bit, but everything's going according to plan, no?
Oh, aye. All right then. I'll go out to the docks, get the dockman to load up the ship, put it up. Yeah, just I know that you can talk into my head, so if you need me, just call me. Later, everyone. And Adelina takes off before you even wake up, Reese, because you're a late riser,
Oh, yeah.
and she has a lot to get done. So, but as the two of you are having breakfast, there's leftover whale from the festivities of the Saga Festival. Reese, you are eventually woken to the sound of people walking about because there's many people milling around in here. It's not a castle, but it's the biggest house in the entire city. This is like, for lack of a better word, the king's house. It's a longhouse. So there's people, there's food that you smell, and you do eventually wake up. And as you come down, you can see Khan and Zavid in the same room. Khan is very much in her own little world, talking with Pipette, and Zavid is finishing up a ham hock.
Also, question: is anybody hearing a random beeping going on?
No?
No.
Bing bong.
Nope.
Definitely not. I think you're having a stronk.
I'm not having a stronk. There's some sound coming from my computer, and I don't know where it's coming from. And
Oh God.
yeah, so that's really, really just distracting me right now.
Sorry about that, but no, it's not coming through, at least on our end.
Well, that's good on your end. I don't think it's coming through on the stream's end, so that's good. You'd be able to tell. It just happened. Anyway, yeah, Reese comes downstairs and just like takes a seat and just looks around. Oh, that's different. And he sees like Gunnar having food being delivered to him and everything, and just like, oh, neat. That's neat. Yeah, I don't have a word for that. And he just like sees the food in front of him and starts shoving it in his mouth. So we go into that tree thing. He says
That's
with
the
mouthful
plan.
of food.
All right. It is not too terribly difficult to do once you once you finish your breakfast. The weather has actually let up quite a bit, but I can change that. There we go. And it is much, much, much easier to get to the top of the mountain, Mount Skildmer. And so I will place the three of you here and share that with you. There we go. So the way up the mountain is significantly more easy this time. There's no blizzard. You can see where you're going. Zavid, you don't have to cast the heat vision and breadcrumbs and everything you had before. The hot springs and the waterfall are still frozen solid, so you do need to, use Reese's climbing ability, maybe that ladder spell Zavid had, but it's not nearly as difficult as the first time. But you do eventually get to the peak of Mount Skildmer in about midday, it's lunchtime, and there's nothing but ice. It's very still, very quiet around you. You can still sort of see the blood stain on the ground from where that Lenorm was killed. The land has been healed. That wound where that beam of fire had appeared has been closed due to all of your efforts. And a beautiful tree lies in the center with pink blossoms. It's the only thing that shows any sign of life in this entire area. And has that map loaded?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, good.
The summit.
Yes. But yes, you were taught a spell-like ability, supernatural ability by Ash the Red-Haired, who taught you all the Entshard Stride ability. So, do you go to it? What do you do?
That goes
What did
straight.
we end up doing with the body of the Lenorm?
That's a great question. I suppose it
think-
would have been left here. The head was taken back to town. Shane, what were you going to say?
Oh, no, you answered my question.
Mhm.
We didn't do anything really, so I guess.
If there's something retroactively you would have wanted to do, or if there's something you want to do with it right now, you
Oh,
can.
not really. Con just wants to like give it a kick as they pass by.
Is there any materials that Con could
You want to know
use,
something
though?
funny?
Yes, I think
There
so.
there is, but before I get into that, you want to know something funny?
What?
Taiga Lenorms have these really big spikes on them, so anytime you attack it, you take damage. So, Khan, you have to take 3 damage, please. I can give that to you. There you go.
I'm thinking, how long does tree stride last? Is it a single round? You like step in and you're out?
That's a
Or-
great question. Let me look it up. I think it's longer than that. I think it stays open for 1 minute. I feel like we looked this up with Bix once, but let me
Yeah.
double check. Stride. Oh, geez. Tree stride is 1 minute, yeah.
Okay, so we
So I'll say it
could.
works the same.
What we could do then is tie some ropes to this thing, cast the tree stride, and drag it through the portal and bring it to Shadow Valley, where you can actually like harvest it in your lab.
It's actually a very, very good idea. Yeah, and you have Ant Hall.
Yeah, I was just about to suggest I'll cast that, tie some ropes to it, and then unless we have anything else we want to do, just summon the portal and drag this thing through.
Okay. As you use this primal... Who does it, first of all? Because
think-
each of you don't all have to use your ability. One of you can do it, and the rest can just walk through.
I think Reese will help drag the Lenorm body through, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Um,
Con will cast the spell.
Yeah.
You'll cast a spell? Okay. Khan, you feel this power course through you. It is different than Lao Shu Po's power. Lao Shu Po feels like ha 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 when you get her, the surges of her power. This feels calm, soothing. It actually kind of focuses you for a moment because it's primal magic, and primal magic is currently not affected by any planets. So for just a moment, you're not under the effect of Seeker's blindness. And I want you to roll me an Arcana check publicly, but
All right.
give yourself a +4 to just counteract the. Or no, never mind. Don't give yourself that because you already have the +4. It'll just take it into account.
All right, cool. Big money, no whammies.
Not terrible.
38?
38. Not the best, but not terrible. You can feel this nature magic coursing through you, and it feels familiar but different at the same time. And I don't know, that wasn't quite enough to learn anything from it, but it does give you a moment of calm and a different perspective on magic, because up to this point, magic to you has just kind of been power. But this is, you're understanding like connections. The roots of this tree connect to the roots of Durge's tree. It's kind of hippy-dippy stuff, but it feels good and different.
Gotcha.
And as you kind of collect yourself and release this magic into the tree, you're able to put your hands on it and open it up like you're ripping open a curtain, and you can see a portal. And on the other side, you recognize Dirge's Glade. What do you do?
Alright, we just start sliding this thing across the ice and pulling it through.
Yeah.
Okay. With Reese's athletics being as high as it is, and your ant haul and everything, having ropes, you're able to no problem get it through there. And after a minute, step through, and you are across the world at Dirge's Glade. You've been here many times. There are frostberries and Chilaxian reaper bushes right in front of you. The massive ant shard has grown significantly since last you were here, maybe a foot, even in just the week or two you've been gone. It's very clearly been taken care of, but you are home. It smells familiar. It's green. And after a few moments, the portal closes, and the tree is a tree again.
I think we should go get our kobold friends to help us pull this thing into to our base of operations.
I think so too. And
I think
I
they
must
had a
say,
blast.
yeah, this was much nicer than walking through the plane of shadows like we've done before. This was just a lot faster.
It definitely was a lot faster. It's pretty convenient we have a tree we can walk out of.
Yeah, let's call the guys.
All right.
Yeah.
So how do you contact them? Do you walk over? Do you morks them? What do you do?
I just walk over.
Oh,
Greet
wait,
them.
they're employed. They have jobs. They might not be here. They're upstanding members of society.
That's right. So let me put you on the Shadow Valley map proper, up near the Shards of Ede, Con, and Reese. So you can close out of Dirge's Glade, and here you go. Looking down from the top of the glade, there's greenery, bushes, shrubbery, trees everywhere. Looking down, you can see, I believe that is Brick, I think? Yes, Brick the Copper, and you also see Liliana Thriceborn, each in the bushes harvesting some peppers and things. Brick, who, for memory's sake, since it's been a while, is the kobold who has become more copper as of late, because of his unwavering belief in Sarenrae the Dawn Dragon. And then Liliana Thriceborn, who is the flesh golem crafted by Lux Et Umbra from the removed brain of Ilkana Alinor. Once an enemy, turned an ally. She's now picking fruit with your kobold, or picking peppers with your kobold. That's what you see.
Called down. Liliana.
Yes. And she turns around and looks startled to see you, and you see Brick pop his head up from the bushes. What? You home?
Indeed, we took a shortcut, you could say. But
How do you get here so fast? Where are you from?
well, long story. We have some things we need help with first.
Oh, sure. I'm ready to help. What do you need?
First, how many kobolds are here?
Everyone, methinks. Well, I can go grab them.
Yes.
And Danny here. She downstairs with Sugar Wanter.
Oh,
She showed up yesterday.
wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, but one thing at a time. When you go get your friends, please make sure you bring protective gloveware, like the thick ones you use for gardening. Like those would be great.
Right, garden gloves, got it. And Brick is off like a shot, runs up into this tower, which I know you can't see from your vantage point, but from the player's vantage point, you can see that Fork is also in there. So, not but 30 seconds later, you see Fork emerge and start coming out, and I love this art so much. It makes me laugh. There he is. I don't remember if Ash, if you've seen this or not, but in the time since you've been here, Fork has since become the sheriff of Veterans Folly. So Sheriff Fork comes running out of the what was originally like a guard barracks, but it's his room, and he sees you up on the stairs. He goes, "Oh, hey y'all, how's it going? Come on, well, welcome back. I was just told by Brick that y'all managed to teleport in." And I want you all to roll me a society check publicly.
Sure.
He didn't have that accent before.
No, I know what happened. I was about to make a comment. I was
Oh,
like,
what's that?
well, I'm like, all right, one of two things has happened. Either the people of the town have rubbed off on him to such an extent that he's adopted their accent, or, and I think this is more likely, that hat is cutting off the circulation to his brain.
Well, Con, you rolled the nat 20. I'm just gonna say you decide what he's doing. Is he faking the accent, or does he have no oxygen to his brain?
He's faking it. He wants to fit in with the folks in Veterans Folly.
Yeah, so he's very clearly been affecting the accent of the folks of Veterans Folly. It's clear he's putting it on.
I love that for him.
But hey, y'all, great to see you. Brick said you need some help. I got my gloves. I'm coming. I'm coming. And he starts climbing up.
Yeah, he gets up here. I say, all right, before you rush to where we need you, let's wait for all of your brethren, because you're all going to love what we have in store.
Oh, sure. And then at that point...
I shout down to Liliana. I'll say, Liliana, can you go inform Danny that her friends are here to see her?
Oh, of course, I can do that. Just one moment. That's
That way,
yeah.
she's aware of our.
Just a moment
her
later, Danny, you would know by now who Liliana is. She's the golem that Zavid made from the brain of Ilkana, your enemy, who tortured your brother for 100 years. But she comes into, and I'm just gonna say, actually, let's go ahead and load this. Just give me 1 second. Liliana, I'm gonna put her on here. She's not that big. Holy crap. Okay.
Yeah, in your conversation with Liliana to figure out who she is and how she got here, you're probably initially were a little bit shocked to find out that she's made from the brain of Ilkana, but then realizing, okay, so you remember I took her head, then we extracted her brain, then I made a golem out of stuff, and then like bound the brain to and like did all this stuff that's sort of like kind of just desserts for someone who is that evil in a way. And she seems like she's not, I feel like, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Eli, but she's like not really bothered by it anymore, and she does it like it's like nothing personal. Like she doesn't really care about what happened before. She's like, well, now I serve Zavid, so
she does serve Zavid. Yeah, she has to do what he says.
There's a bit of love that she has for Zavid that he did that to her.
But so
yes.
like if you'd have time to get over that shock, is all I was trying to get to.
Yeah, you've been here for a day or two. At this point, I'm gonna switch over to where Ash is. You're in what used to be kind of your theater, which it still sort of is, but in your absence, Sugar Wanter has kind of turned it into her makeshift tailor shop. She's been apprenticing with Krek Longwalker, Barbariana, the drag queen from the Pride episode.
Yeah.
She's been apprentice tailoring with him, so has kind of a tailor shop set up. There's a dress form, bunches of fabrics, a sewing table. But you're in here with her, working on a garment, when Liliana knocks and opens the door and says, Your Majesty, I was bade to tell you that your friends, the other members of Lux Et Umbra, are here.
Oh, they're here. Okay.
Yes, I'm not sure how they got here so quickly, but they are out in the courtyard.
Timey-wimey shit. Don't pay attention to it.
Of course.
Okay. Can I say that she has the garment on?
Sure. I don't have an image for it unless you do, but yeah.
No, I don't. So.
But yes, you can be wearing the thing that you're. Yeah, we'll say that you were up on one of those little stool things, and Sugar Wanter has like 10 pins in her mouth, and she's like fitting a thing.
So once Liliana says that, she just starts. She comes like down the thing real quick. She kind of stumbles a little bit. It's still Danny, and she just runs to wherever
Okay.
her friends
We'll
are at.
drop
with
you on
like
the map here. Boop. So you can go over to the level 1 map, Danny. I just dropped you over there. You can close level 2, anybody who's on it. You come outside and you see that Liliana and the kobolds are climbing up the rock side. Woo, did not mean to
Oh
do that.
my god, what is she
Did not
doing?
mean to turn her inside out. They're all
Abby.
climbing up the rock side, going to Dirge's Glade. And Brick is showing up. Jimothy. Oh God! Jimothy and Sugar Wanter are also going.
Stream only saw half of that because it was hidden
Yeah, good.
behind the box.
You're like
I see
you're over
that.
here like Beerus, like snapping your fingers and unmaking people.
Right. All right. We don't have to go back to the Dirge's Glade map if you don't want to, just because it's a lot of moving stuff around.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when they all get up there, they're all very excited to see you. Oh, it's wonderful to see all of you! And yeah, Danny, she got home yesterday. We've been taking good care of her. I've been helping her with. Oh, there she is now. And you can see they point down into the courtyard. And Danny, what do they see?
So you would see Danny in this beautiful like white dress with like pink, like a long like trail of pink at the bottom, and it's like laced from the neck, and then it comes down a bit, and then it's like heart shaped, and then all on the like arms it's lacy, and it like does that thing where it goes between the fingers, and then it's all like glittery and sparkly, and it's very Danny with flowers and stuff around it. Tasteful. I described it as very tacky just now, but it's very beautiful and tasteful.
Danny, of course.
Thank you.
But yeah, you see her. That's what you see down in the courtyard. Danny in a very exceptionally beautiful but new dress. You're used to seeing her in very, she's a literal queen. You're used to seeing her in amazing outfits, but this is very different.
And she'll just like run to like Khan and just like give her a hug. It's like, it's so good to see you.
Oh, it's
And
so
she kind
good
of
to
picks
see
up,
you too.
it's kind of like picks up off the ground a little bit. Oh, sorry. And then like does the same thing to like Raze and Zavid.
Greetings, Queen of Druma. What do we owe the pleasure of your visit?
When Danny like picks up Reese, it's always just like she's like it still throws me off every time.
I came. Well, Sugar Wanter, is fixing up the last bits of my wedding dress.
Yeah, it's a design she came up with, but I've been trying really hard to follow the pattern. Craig's been helping a lot.
And you have done exceptional.
Oh, thank you, Your Majesty.
You are the best bard ever.
Jimothy eventually scuttles up. He's got big, thick goggles on his gas mask. Oh, I didn't realize it would be so bright today.
Oh my God.
What are we doing? That's good to see. I didn't expect you to be back for so long.
So, before we take you to where we need you, I want you to understand that we know kobolds have some sort of relationship with dragons. Some of you like dragons, or you revere them, or like their physical abilities, whatever. But I also know that there's a difference between a true dragon and what's called a Lenorm. Have you heard of those?
Oh, I've heard of a Lenorm. They're large, scary dragons. Not really more than beasts. They can't think as far as I know.
Well, the one that we have, especially can't think. As I reveal that we have a Lenorm, I'll be like, we need help moving the corpse. Our friend Gunnar severed the head for his tribe because it was terrorizing their lands. He had a score to settle, but the body, I think, can be used to make new weapons, armor, concoctions. As I'm looking to each of their specialties, tailoring,
Rick
each of
says
these
We
could
can
be.
put spikes on the gate.
You can do a lot with this, but I need your help. Touching it will hurt you. That's why I asked for the gloves. So be very careful as you drag this thing in.
Oh, yeah.
And I tell them it's basically right by the end shard, so they know where to go and they can handle it.
Yeah, sure. They slither off with Liliana, and you can hear the gasp from 100 yards away when they finally get to it. But they will definitely start working on a plan to haul that thing in.
It's also like almost frozen through because we spent like a night
That's true.
as it was like sitting on that lake. So they'd be shocked to realize how cold it is.
And headless.
Yeah, this headless, near frozen corpse of a. Well, that also means it's probably really well preserved.
That's true, yes. So I'm not sure off the top of my head what you can get from those, but let me look up a Lenorm. Con, roll me a crafting check publicly while I do this. And anyone else can help her. You can give her
Oh yeah, absolutely.
guidance, all that stuff.
I'm gonna do a crafting check to help.
As am I.
Wow, a nat 2, but a 27 nonetheless.
It's alright, Reese has got some. Yeah.
Sweet.
That works out to a 50 if you put guidance on it.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Okay. I'm gonna make something up, and it's gonna be really cool.
I love it.
Taiga Lenorms have an effect when they die. It's called the Curse of Endless Storms. I kind of incorporated that into Gunnar's backstory. Remember when I said he fought the Lenorm, it bit into him, and that's how he got his rage powers that gives him the lightning?
Uh-huh.
It's kind of that, but I tweaked it a little. The actual Curse of Endless Storms is when a creature slays a Taiga Lenorm, it must succeed at a DC 46 will save or permanently gain weakness 20 to electricity. I'm going to turn that into a poison.
Ooh.
So it's a poison that when you put it into someone, either by ingestion or injection, it'll make them permanently weak to electricity. I'm going to call it Greater Taiga Lenorm Poison. Yeah, I like this one.
I feel like the moment that we discover that there's this usefulness, like look over at Khan and she's like wearing Electromancer garb already, like, all right, time to utilize this.
So yeah, DC 46 fort save, or permanently gain weakness 20 to electricity.
Permanent.
Con
Yes.
invents the taser to get the maximum
Right,
usage
though.
out of this poison.
If I recall, you have lightning bombs, don't you?
She
I
does.
do.
She also
and
has
she has chain
lightning.
Okay.
So you have a Greater
That's
Taiga
awesome.
Lenorm poison, and I'm going to say that it has to take, like, you just get one.
Yeah.
Because you
Oh
have to,
yeah.
You have
Oh
to
yeah.
distill
Please,
a whole bunch
please
of
only
shit.
give me one.
Yeah, you have
Please
to
only give me
Okay.
one.
Yeah, you get one. But I put it in your inventory. It's called Greater Taiga Lenorm, Greater Taiga Lenorm Poison.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That seems fun and cool in level 16.
Yeah. Just in case we run into something that like has a lot of resistances or immunities, something really, really strong. You
Yeah.
know?
I wanna make a glider out of the wings.
That's awesome. Okay, let's do different crafting checks. I like this. Let's make stuff out of the Lenore.
Yeah.
Here. This is my normal crafting check. If anyone wants to
Hella.
assist me, or
Okay.
I'll roll to assist.
42 with guidance.
Oh my God.
Good lord.
Do you roll
That's
crafting?
another. Yeah, you're legendary, so that's another 4. So that's 46, 47, 48. Yeah, it's 48. So yeah, that's amazing. What?
I have-
48. You're trying to make a glider?
yeah. So I actually have art for something like this that I've been sitting on for a long time. That I'm like, oh, I would love to use something like that, and I see the possibilities here. Let me find the art that I found. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and Ash, you weren't here for that episode. Let me show you what a Taiga Lenorm is.
Okay.
This is the creature that they faced atop that mountain. It was chained to that Etchard, that huge tree. It's basically a feral dragon that breathed electricity.
Oh,
And
shit.
when Gunnar got the kill on it, he became the Lenorm King.
Oh, nice. I think it looks nasty.
It was. It was very
Oh, is
nasty.
it-
I think I know what the glider can do. It'll be like a magic item that is like a permanent feather fall. So as long as you're holding on to it, you're feather falling.
Can I make it retractable so that if I fall, I can activate the wings to pop
Yeah.
out and glide me down?
I like that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's easy enough. That's
Awesome.
the easy part.
Can Reese
So
That's wonderful.
I'm putting it in your inventory. What is that, Elliot? What is Reese for?
can Reese get armor made from it with the help of Danny in her crafting?
Scales? Yes. Let me see. What can rangers wear? Let's find out.
Sometimes nothing.
Sometimes nothing at all. Nothing
at
at all. Nothing at all. Medium armor. Okay. Okay. So let's go Pathfinder 2E, medium armor. Is there scale mail in that? Because scale mail would be perfect. There's also, since it's Pathfinder, there's rules for dragon scale like armor and stuff. I've looked it up in the past. Scale. Oh god, so many. Why do they have to have the word scale on here so many times? Scale mail. Yes, that's medium armor.
Woo!
You could absolutely make scale mail out of these dragon scales.
Love it.
I know there are rules for that, so I'll find them at some point, but I will just write up a scale mail armor for you. And Danny, what do you want from this thing?
Oh, what can I get?
I don't know. Look at that dragon and tell me what parts from it you want. I mean, the head is gone.
Everything else is pretty much up for grabs.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, the scales, the wings, and the poison
Mm-hmm.
have already become things.
Reese, I gave you the Taiga Lenorm scale mail in your inventory. I'll stat that out later.
It's been so long since I've actually played that I don't know what to ask
Like you
for.
can make something up. Like its claws, it's got its tail, it's got its
Make,
it's got its
weapons.
organs.
Oh, can we turn it like maybe into jewelry or something? Like turn the
organs into like blown like necklace jewelry or something.
Oh, can we take the blood and maybe turn it into like a dagger or something?
Yes. Frozen blood dagger? Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Blood
very
dra- I suggest blood dagger with matching earrings.
cool.
Oh,
Like they're like the because her ears are usually popped out anyway, so she could have like the ear cuff type things.
oh, I
Does
love
Danny
that.
have the long elf ears? I know you're a half
Yeah.
elf. You don't?
They're like not as long as like a traditional elf that are like pointy,
Mm-hmm.
but half the size of a normal elf.
They're
Can you
half
make
of,
some blood
Reese's
jewelry for
ears.
Con? She would really like that.
I'm gonna give both of you
We could be
the
twinsies.
there. I'm giving Danny the blood earrings. Danny, what jewelry do you want? Earrings or something else?
Oh, me or L.
Sorry, Con. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I think Con would like earrings too, just because
Okay.
she's got her big ears that stick out of her hood.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They don't even have to have any effects. She just wants jewelry made of blood.
That is very Con. So
It
frozen.
could be like the dangly kind that just looks like your ears are covered in blood.
There you go, Con. I've given you the frozen Taiga Lenorm blood earrings, and Danny, you have the earrings and the dagger. I will stat that out later.
Is.
Yes, you all now have essentially magic items crafted from this Lenorm. We can kind of hand wave. You'll take a good chunk of the morning, the afternoon doing that. And
That armor is gonna look so fucking cool too. I love the color of the Lenorm.
it's gonna be very cool.
Ugh.
So
I
as you're
have
kind
a couple of quick
Oh, sure,
questions.
go ahead. Yeah.
Is the event happening this session or is that a different session?
Unsure, depends.
Okay.
Just depends on how long things take. So, as you're all kind of, crafting, hacking this thing to pieces, crafting your things, Ankh, the Momotor. There he is. Let me show him.
I love
Okay.
him.
Oops, I didn't mean to set him as the background, but that's fine. Doesn't matter. Momotor. There, him. He comes up to you, and he begins to start signing. Reese, give me a society check.
Oh, yes, I can understand what he's saying now.
If you roll a society publicly.
I will.
Yeah, you can kind of get the gist of what he's saying. He's trying to tell you he found something downstairs.
Hey,
No.
hey, bud, yeah, let's... Hey, he found something. I found something downstairs.
I just got back.
Oh, yeah. So just to update you, everyone essentially got magic items from the Taiga Lenorm. I'll
Hell yeah.
stat them all out later. But then, as you were working, Ankh the Mummator came up to you and he started signing. And Reese figured out he's trying to tell you that he found something.
All right. I'll follow where our Mummator leads.
Okay, you can close up the level 1. Let me put you on level 2.
Oh my god, he's so cute as the background. Stop.
I didn't mean to do that, but I'm going to leave it for now.
Yes.
That was unintentional, but it's not the worst thing in the world. So I'm putting you all on here. I think that's everybody, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And he leads you through Khan's lab and into where it normally just goes off into the mushroom rooms where the raging river is. But he points to the north, and you can see that there's a hallway dug out that where there used to be just a solid rock wall. And he keeps signing to you, Reese, and he's saying essentially, you said I could dig my labyrinth out. I've started my tunnel here, but I found something.
Ooh, he found something while making his labyrinth, guys. It's gonna be real cool, I bet. Oh.
Neat.
Okay, so he takes you to, and again, you can close out of that. I have a new map for you. I just wanted to show you his little dugout hallway. But he brings you to, again, it's just fully dug out by hand, by his pickaxe. And it's a long, straight hallway, but you can see, give me perception checks in the tower.
Okay. Perception checks in the tower.
See, what do we see? What do we see?
Let's see. Reese, you spot something kind of glittering off in the distance, at the end, not near the end, but within this long hallway. And as you're walking, you can see that on the ground there's a couple of treasures and trinkets. There's what appears to be a harp and some gems and some kind of a stained glass window, a couple of parchments.
Oh, a little chamber, huh?
Mm-hmm. He found a little chamber that he accidentally broke into.
Dude, this is awesome!
Elliot.
And he, like, signs it back.
Elliot's here
Yes.
on the map.
Oh, whoops! How did that happen?
Oh
Shit.
my gosh.
Who are you?
Who are you? I'm a
It's
goblin.
Reese is like,
don't
why do you look
worry."
like me?
There we
Wow,
go.
this looks like a younger version of myself, a little bit more twink-like than I already am.
LMAO. Whoops.
I definitely am interested. I'll say, or I'll ask Ankh if he touched anything yet.
He shakes his head no.
I looked at everyone like, don't touch any of these unless we know for certain they are not cursed. And I'm going to
I know what you're referencing.
What?
Shane is referencing
Oh,
the harp.
I'm just curious, how have we been here
well,
for so...
I'm not even referencing that. Oh, there's a harp there. Yeah, I didn't
I
even
have
see that.
trauma from that. Thanks, Shane.
Last Tuesday, I was playing in a game where there was a book stitched in human flesh on a table, and someone touched it and failed their will save or wisdom save and became like they don't want to part with the book. But we knew they started immediately acting different, so we knew something was up. So somebody tried to overwrite it by casting suggestion on them, saying you should put the book down. And the curse overrode their suggestion, so we tried to forcefully take it from them. They were a paladin. They used smites on our monk. like PvP, total PvP, which we were like, I can't believe this is happening. And then the DM sent the rest of like the castle people at us because we were making a bunch of noise. So we had to, while injured and him out of smites, fight everything off. And then I tried to like sleight of hand, take the book and throw it. I failed my save, so I couldn't let go of the book. And now we both are fighting over the book, and that was where our session ended. And I'm like, this is a fucking mess. And I'm like, if they had just not touched it and we had just burned it, it would have been fine. So maybe I'm metagaming a little bit as I see all this stuff, and I'm like, don't touch anything. But
why.
It's every time. It's just because you're near Ankh. The last time you were near Ankh, you started getting really panicky because apparently mummies and Minotaur are a real pet character killer for you, Shane.
oh, that's right. There's that
I
too.
think it's just you being near Ankh makes you really on edge.
Well, not
You,
anymore.
not Zavi, just you.
Yeah, no, but even and we like Ankh. Ankh is cool.
Ankh is
Ankh is like slowly turning me around on my learned prejudices against minotaurs and mummies. I'm starting to unlearn that stuff. But cursed items, that's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
I'll detect magic on these items and read aura if I have to, just to try to like identify some of this stuff.
Well, you're reading divine for sure.
Okay.
Particularly the harp.
Okay. What about that stained glass art? Can I make a religion check? Do I recognize what's depicted
Yes,
there?
you absolutely can. Roll me religion in the tower, please. Oh, that's enough. Even then, even if you didn't, Danny would recognize immediately that this is stained glass of Shellin. And Danny, you are a faithful of Shellin.
Yeah.
So even if he had failed that roll, Danny would have known for sure that this is a representation of Shellin, the goddess of like beauty and I think love,
I think so.
art, beauty, bards, basically.
Hard stuff.
Bard stuff.
I see that. I stop and I look to Danny. I'm like, so you were hiding a stash this entire time down here?
I know that's probably what it looks like. But my question is, how have we been here for so long and there's still more levels of this place that we haven't discovered? So
Well,
therefore, no.
Wait, hold on. Let me do another check to see if I can recognize the architecture.
I was hoping someone would do that. Give me society in the tower, or anybody who wants
Oh,
to do
I
that.
got this.
I want to help as well.
Yeah, I'll help. Let me help Elliot with my roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all of us are brainstorming.
Sure. Actually, Khan got the highest. I think, right? Yeah, Khan, you figured it out. And you speak this language. It makes sense, actually.
Ah,
You realize that the architecture in here is dwarven. It's different than the architecture of Shadow Valley. Shadow Valley was definitely built by humans. This is dwarven.
huh.
I know nothing about dwarves.
She figured it out because the walls are unnaturally low. She's the only one not getting a little claustrophobia.
Yeah, you're the only one who hit the DC of 40, so you...
Wait, so I mean, this kind of makes sense. Really, if you dig deep enough anywhere, you're gonna like run into some dwarven runes or something. But shelling stuff in a dwarven rune is kind of weird.
Yeah, that is unusual.
Also, why is this like did we dig into a treasury? Like, what is this? Why is there jewels just sitting in a pile and some papers?
Let's try to read those papers. So Reese goes over to like the one that's closest to him.
Okay,
Wait.
yeah.
Reese would understand that it's dwarven anyway because he Oh wait, no. Okay, that wasn't dwarven written. Never mind. Sorry.
Can I give the harp an investigation or something?
Yes, you can. Give me, occultism in the tower.
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna let Danny lead this charge because I
Mhm.
feel like if she's faithful to Shalyn, then Shalyn would let her know whether this is good or bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you know this is a very good item. This is a very good item. This is what's called a Greater Maestro's Instrument. It is technically a level 18 item. You can't even use it yet. But what it is a maestro's instrument. Maestro's instrument can be crafted in the form of any variety of handheld musical instrument. The maestro's instrument grants you a +3 item bonus to performance checks while playing music with the instrument. And once a day, you can activate it with 2 actions to cast the charm spell with an 8th level charm spell, DC of 38. So it's a magic harp that can charm people once a day. And it increases your performance checks. But you can't use it for a level and 2 sessions. Or at least you can have it for the bonus to performance, but you can't cast the charm out of it.
I'll be back.
Can I have somebody play it for the wedding?
Yes. It is just an instrument, so anyone who can play an instrument can just play it.
Oh my god,
Well,
you should get what's his face, the kobold.
Sugar Wanter?
Yeah. If it's if that's too high level, Eli, just say something.
Well, it's too high level for her to get any use out of it in like combat, but she could still play it as a harp. But I have dropped that into your inventory there, Danny. What did I just call it? Crap. The Maestro's Instrument Grater. Yeah, it's in your inventory.
How big is it?
It is. It's not like a huge harp. It's not nearly as big as that showed on the map. It's like a lap harp. It would be like a full-size harp for a kobold. But for you, it would be like a lap harp.
Just imagine like Danny pulls it out during like battle.
Yes.
Huge full-size harp in the middle of battle.
That's actually a very funny image of just like telling everybody to wait while you get it set up.
Tuning it.
Wait, hold on,
minute.
hold on. A, B, D.
Why this is a little flat, hold
so
on.
flat?
D.
A little bit. Oh god, that's too sharp. All right, perfect.
Okay, now you could try attacking me.
Eddie, you might want to try to get that all set up like before we hop into battles. This kobold is being very nice for some reason.
Oh, that is actually a good question. Is the harp in tune?
We'd have to try it. Go ahead and give it a performance check, probably.
I feel like as a magical harp, it probably has part of its enchantment to always be in tune or something.
That would make sense. That would make sense.
Danny strikes a C major chord, and a chill runs through all of your spines. It's perfectly in tune.
I
Almost haunting.
slap my hands over my ears. No! Major chords are my weakness.
What are you, the Catholic Church circa 1570?
But I'll check out the notes and letters, as clearly this is not cursed. Doesn't seem like she's
Well, let me see. So you're
in
looking at the
danger.
letters? Let me see your notes.
Yeah, the papers on the ground. I want to see if there's anything written on them.
A little bit. There's some stuff written down, but kind of looks like Dwarvish. But you don't recognize it. It's weird.
This is a freaking grocery list. What is this doing here?
Oh, sorry, that was mine.
Actually, I'm like, this looks similar to Dwarvish, but it is,
Do I have...
It would be like if someone used English letters to write a letter that's like like it's just noise, but using the Dwarvish script.
I can't even really fully get what is going on here, and I'm pretty damn good with languages. Is there anything I can roll for that?
Society in the tower.
Okay. Hold on, let me take a closer look.
I need to.
We can determine if it's bullshit.
No,
need to
you
check
can't
what my
figure out
languages
anything
are.
Nope,
on
nope.
this guy. No,
This
is
still sucks.
again. It's Dwarven script, or at least something similar to Dwarven script.
Khan, do you understand?
I mean, no. I'll roll society.
I'm gonna roll over your one from earlier because
Oh,
it's
okay.
high enough. You've seen this once in a book forever ago. You think this is called Dwargar?
Oh no. Dark dwarfs.
Deep dwarves.
Deep dwarfs.
Dark dwarves. Yes, Dwargar.
Oh, it's not Dwarvish as I know it. It's a different dialect, a different language, but of the same root.
Oh, kind of like Fantasy Bavarian. Got it.
Oh, I have
Does-
Dwarvish too.
Don't they come from Zavid's land?
We didn't. I never met any dwarves in the Shadowlands, but please bear in mind I was in a cult, so I didn't really see many others other than my own kind and ghouls. It was pretty myopic. But I guess the Darklands, there were dwarves. I thought they looked like dwarves. They were kind of they had like gray skin and white beards. Some of them were bald.
You understand
But,
them?
I thought all dwarves were bald.
No, they shouted a lot. This is before I learned Dwarvish. They shouted and were really aggressive. They were slave owners.
Ew.
Oh.
Slavers, yeah. That's sort of like a business for them. They
Isn't it like
suck.
the Dark
I did not
Elves?
have any close contact with them. I was always hiding and sneaking around. I'd never had to fight any. I was very lucky. But most people down in the Darklands speak Undercommon. So when they weren't speaking their Dwarvish language, they were speaking Undercommon. So I did understand that. So I just assumed that was Dwarven, but I guess in retrospect, I never really thought about what they were saying now that I do know Dwarvish. I don't remember anything that they said. I just assumed it was. But if this is another dialect, then I guess that makes sense. There's Undercommon. It's sort of like Under Dwarvish.
What about that other sheet of paper? Like, Reese just like is like, all right, I don't care anymore. Goes to the other sheet.
It's in the same language. It's in Duergar, but this is beautiful. You know, in like really like medieval books and manuscripts, the first letter is really flowery and all that. It's got that. It's got a nice drawing on it of a rose, like intertwining with like a bioluminescent mushroom, and but again, you just can't read it. You rolled really low on your society earlier.
Okay.
Don't we have
You rolled bad.
comprehend languages or something?
Yeah, I think somebody has that.
That would be
Anyanka
what's her
usually
face?
does.
Anyanka, yeah. We should probably just like
Danny
keep
might
them rolled
though.
up with us if
Let
Danny
me
doesn't.
take a look. To be
Take
fair,
a
I
look.
haven't,
You have a
I
million
haven't-
spells.
but also they haven't changed much, so because I haven't really been here to change them, so is that a spell I can take if by chance?
Yeah,
Would
we
that be
can
allowed?
Yeah, we can change something out for you since you haven't been here to pick. Let's see, what level is that?
Only if allowed, of course.
Comprehend. 4th level? Sure. Pick a 4th level spell to get rid of. Maybe suggestion?
Yeah, let's get rid of suggestion.
I know that first one you don't want to get rid of.
No, definitely not. Leave that one alone.
Took you 10 levels to convince me to let you take that.
Yeah,
Okay.
2 years later.
Yeah.
Wait.
Comprehend language. Come on. Drop it in. There we go. Okay. I've given you that, Danny.
Oh, you know what? I completely forgot that I had this spell. Maybe we can try it. And then she'll cast Comprehend Language.
And as you cast the spell, I believe it's a multiple person spell, I believe. Let me double check on that. Comprehend language, 4th level. You can target up to 10 creatures. The targets can also speak the language. Cool. So all of you can now read and speak Duergar, which is neat. So as you are looking at this, which one are you looking at first? The flowery one or the other one?
Is this a grocery list? I have to know.
Sure. So as you're holding the grocery list, the symbols start to kind of reconfigure themselves, and for you, Zavid, they kind of change into Dwarvish so that you can kind of read it. And it talks about how the house is going to fall if this can't stop. This insanity needs to stop. You need to come home. You need to abandon her and come home. Or wait, her? Him? Abandon him and come home.
Oh,
This is a love
So-
story.
maybe. What does yours say?
When you're looking at yours, Danny, it's exactly that. It's a love letter. It says something along the lines of, "My dearest Veltel, we're nearing the end. I can hear them coming. They will never accept us. This is the only way.
Oh my god,
Your
it's a
love
love
forever,
story.
Xander."
Who the fuck is that? Does anybody know anybody named Xander?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Can I do a society check again?
Sure, Tower. This is a fully separate society check
Yep,
now.
thank you.
I have so many fans who can remember them all.
And anybody can roll it on this one.
Opener in the tower.
In the tower, please, for society.
Society.
I feel like unless I've met this person, I wouldn't be able to make this check.
Trying to figure out if it might be in a book or something.
Actually, the dice oddly makes sense. Con, you've heard of like a old, not fairy tale so much as just an old story in
Kind of maybe
Durgar
a folk
legend.
tale?
A folk tale. That's a really great way to put it. A folk tale of Xander and Veltel. Kind of a tragedy that Durgar and dwarves speak about. Being traveling in a circus, you've come across a lot of actors and actresses in your time, and you've met one or two who have talked about how they've starred in performances of Xander and Veltel. But it's very much a dwarvish thing. Most non-dwarves have not heard of the story of Xander and Veltel.
Mm-hmm. It's a tale. It's a story. It's a performance.
What if this is not a performance and this was real?
What's the middle one?
One other thing you're realizing as you're looking at the letter, you realize that, let me get this right. Xander, the name Xander is Dwarvish, and anyone who reads Dwarvish can read that one. And that is Dwarvish for foolish youth. And Veltel is Duergar for romance. That's one reason, Con, that you suspect it was just a story, because their names are literally foolish youth and romance.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a little on the nose.
How old do these pages seem to be? Like, is there a level of dust over everything, including like the harp and the gems and the stained glass window?
Dusty, centuries. They've been here a long time.
Okay.
And looking around, I don't remember. I think it was Khan. You did the architecture check.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, you're looking around and you can see the room is uneven, as though it's kind of sunk in the ground, or maybe an earthquake moved it. You think you're kind of, for lack of a better word, trapped, and that's why it was only when Ankh mined through that he was able to even find this chamber.
Yeah. And if we headed north on the map, does that lead us to more places, or does it kind of
It does,
even
yes. It does lead to further place. But I think, Zavid, you were wanting to check out something? You said something about the middle?
Yes, the middle thing, the little rolled up piece of paper.
Oh, yeah,
Is there-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pick that up and unroll it, and it is essentially like a business receipt. It's got an itemized list of family harp, 50 kilograms of gems, and holy symbol of Shilin stained glass heirloom. It's just an itemized list with a wax stamp at the bottom.
Of all the items here, essentially.
Mhm.
Does it say anything about the goblet that's clearly separate from the...
I get that's just
gems?
part of the gems and the loot. That's a benign,
Oh, okay.
non-magical goblet.
Okay.
I can see why you would think that was special, but that's just a goblet.
There's also like rings and
It's
stuff.
expensive. Like you could take these things if you want, but the only thing that's actually magical, and yeah, there's rings and just it seems like you're starting to get the sense that one family was trying to buy off the other, because this is a very cold receipt that you found,
Yeah.
a business document.
I think where Zavid's head's at is like, all right, well, This is he personally does not have any interest in the loot, but this was underneath Shadow Valley, which does belong to us. However, in fantasy world, unlike real world, what is under your feet doesn't necessarily belong to you.
Mineral rights.
Even if you own the rights to the land, because we have underground societies that are completely separate from the overground ones. So I would imagine we would have to make sure that this place is abandoned before we could legally lay claim to it. And I'd also just be interested in knowing more of like this place in general. This seems to be like a forgotten chamber, but if there's more chambers beyond this, that could give us a more clear picture as to what we kind of stumbled into.
Sure.
I guess I'll share that point of view with everyone.
Sure. Are you wanting to move on, or is there more you want to do in this chamber?
Oh.
I think Con has to like tear herself away from like getting little samples of the stained glass because she knows that sometimes there are rare minerals that get the glass to be that color.
Rare
but-
ancient processes.
Yeah. Nice
Look
to
what he did.
He appears.
Hello.
What's up, Bronwyn?
Hello, baby.
What's up?
But okay, so if you're going to the next chamber to the north, it goes further in a mostly straight line. But again, this is not Ankh. Ankh didn't tunnel this out. This has clearly been here a long time. You can close out of that chamber, and the tunnel comes to sort of an end, where you can see there's some type of a stone construction in front of you, little round bits. And to the left, the wall has kind of collapsed. There's brickwork on the ground, and it leads into a different chamber just to the left.
The one on the left is more collapsed, like it's not solid.
Yes,
it's
completely
just a
collapsed.
pile.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I can unlock as you move, or
Okay.
I can open up the fog of war as you move.
Yeah.
But what do you do?
Right. Is it like a mound in front of us that's blocking our progress?
It's not blocking. No, you could easily
Okay.
step over it. It would just be difficult terrain for 15 feet.
Okay.
Reese, it would be no problem for you. You just step over it like Legolas.
Yep.
You're basically immune to regular difficult terrain.
I
Oh, yeah.
think if this place is inhabited either by the original tenants or some squatters, you could say, we should be careful not to surprise or threaten them. If it is Dwergar, they will most likely try to kill us or capture us so that they could sell us into slavery. If they are not Dwergar, they might just think we're invaders and protect their sort of home or territory.
I think what Reese is gonna do is sneak over there, consider everything that he's taking over there, but also just use Swift Sneak and just like figure it out on his own so he can just like.
Between Swift Sneak and being a high-level ranger, you can sneak over difficult terrain at your normal movement speed.
Yep.
So,
All right,
roll me
let's
a-
go.
I'm like explaining this, I blink and you're gone.
Yep.
And I'm like, what?
roll me a stealth publicly.
Okay.
And if you want, you can have like guidance and shit, because, yeah, you never know.
Hell yeah.
So guidance, can anyone aid his stealth in some way?
I'll be quiet. That's all. I just won't say anything.
Con can maybe give some pointers.
There you go.
I can cast guidance.
Cool.
Okay,
Get assisted.
great. So I know your result. So give me a perception check as well there, Reese, in the tower. And I assume the rest of you are kind of staying back, letting him scout ahead?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Seems
what you
like
have
he's
a
pretty
ranger for.
confident.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reese, you
I
see...
feel like he just pulls all this aggro all of a sudden. We might have to talk about this in the future, but
I mean,
I trust
even
Reese.
if he
I think
pulls
Reese has this.
even if he pulls aggro, it's okay because his strength is so high. He's like 200 something HP. He's
Don't move
Well,
yet.
I'm not worried about like our survival here. I just don't know if we need to be worried another day, you know? What the fuck is this?
You very quietly sneak around the corner, and without drawing any attention, you notice two very large, hulking statues that hold swords. They're not as aggro as they are in that image, but you've seen enough constructs and guard golems to know when you see one, you critically succeeded on your stealth check versus its perception. They do not know you're there.
And Reese kind of motions.
That's all you can
for
see from
Khan
that
to
angle.
Come over. See this? So wait, hold still. Trust me.
Oh, that's nice. That's very cute.
So
Okay,
yeah.
so Khan, do you join?
Yeah.
Okay, roll me a stealth publicly then.
Scoop.
Ah,
Oh,
there we
fuck
go.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you also
There we
critically. They rolled a 28, so you almost double crit. So you two are ghosts. You're able to walk freely, essentially. Once you get about to there, let me just open up the rest of this. You can see there's a large chamber, at the far end of which are two stone sarcophagi, and flanking them on either corner are two additional brass-looking machines with tubes for arms.
Oh.
Metal and clockwork. This is what you see. You both rolled extremely high stealths. They don't see you.
Can I cast message? Wait, do I have message? I have ghost sound.
You have Mork's
The quietest ghost sound.
I also have
Right next to them and say, "Listen, guys. I think maybe there's a way to bypass these things, like a password or something." I don't know if you can actually hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
good.
can.
I didn't realize. I didn't know if I was going too quiet. Too in character there. No, that's not for you, baby. Go for it. I say, if we can shut them down without damaging them, we might be able to repurpose them for Shadow Valley.
You're so right. Han is like almost foaming at the mouth a little bit.
Yeah,
Especially
your
because you have
ADHD rat
Seeker's
brain.
blindness
Oh
right
yeah.
now.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I want to get Khan's mind working to see if she can figure out a solution, since I know that her mind is more focused on
Khan
crafting
needs to be
Arcana.
no
Yeah.
Arcana, not crafting.
Well,
Her
but she doesn't
crafting
get
takes
a
hit.
penalty to crafting, is what I mean. So, like,
Yes,
she can use
yeah.
her focus on Arcana to then aid in her idea of crafting.
Exactly.
That's why Reese honestly dragged her forward a little bit. Be like, no, I need Khan right now because there's no way she can't not see this. Well, they're still not hostile.
Every time we find something I think Khan would find interesting that's slightly different, I feel like she has a different pair of goggles for that specific thing. So before it was like the electrical, like electromancer goggles, and this time now it's artificer goggles. Like,
Yeah.
All right, so what do you do then? The two of you can walk around freely. Zavid and Danny, you would have to roll something or cast something.
I actually prepared some spells, but I also thought we were going into another plane today, so they might not be very good. But let me just double check what I got.
Well, Zavid would know you weren't going into a different plane today, so you could have prepared
Ooh.
slightly different stuff.
Oh, I have something I can do though. I have a level 5 spell that I was going to prepare called Scouting Eye. The casting time takes a minute, but I can create an invisible floating eye 1 inch in diameter at a location I can see within 500 feet. Sees in all directions with my normal vision senses, which are pretty good, and continuously transmits what it sees. The first time I sustain the spell, I can either move the eye up to 30 feet. So basically, I can kind of move the eye as I need it to, and it can I think go through shit. So like, I think it can go through, as long as it doesn't end its speed in a solid object.
Okay.
I think it can phase through, so I can maybe put it into the sarcophagi, and like I could spy it and
Yeah,
see what's
absolutely.
going on.
You're more than welcome to cast that spell.
Mhm.
Let's see. Do I have anything?
Yeah.
You said it's like an eye?
Indeed, a scouting eye. It's an invisible floating eye, 1 inch in diameter, or maybe it doesn't go through stuff, but it's only an inch,
Here.
so it could squeeze into stuff.
Here, look at that. I put it on the map right in front of you.
Ooh, sweet. I want to. Yeah, it takes a minute. So once I recall them back, I'm gonna like hide behind the wall here, and quietly cast my little spell. And then once it's cast, I want to send it to see. I want to examine very closely the outsides of the constructs Though I don't know if they can detect invisible things, so I'm going to try and like evade where their eyes are, but like low to the ground, like by their feet, their backs, like to see if there's any sort of, I don't know, model number, make, the password just written on them. I don't know, something that I can like intuit from them, and
Sure.
failing that, then go check out the tombs.
Roll me a perception check in the tower then. Then
Sure.
while he's rolling that, Danny, what are you doing?
I'm trying to figure out what can I do.
Okay. Zavid, you can tell that this is similar to Dwarven make, but it's not dwarf. These front two, the ones with the swords and the horns, they don't look super dwarvish, but they kind of look like they might be inspired by dwarfish make. But these two over here with the guns on their arms, these look exactly like dwarf stuff. Like this is dwarf stuff top to bottom. And you get the sense maybe the front one might be a Duergar make because of where you're at, everything that's happened. And so you said you bring them over to this little, the mausoleum thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what you see is two graves, both made of carved stone. One made of white granite, the other made of white marble, the other made of black marble. The black marble one is of a dwarf woman wrapped in cloth. The white marble is of a dwarf man wrapped in cloth. But they're separated by about 3 feet, as you can see on the map.
Interesting. What's up?
Their heads are turned facing each other.
Are they completely sealed, or is there with time degradation that would allow my little eye to squeeze in?
It could probably squeeze in, yeah.
I have greater dark vision through it anyway,
That's true,
so I
you
just
do.
want to see what we
So
can see.
as it goes in, squeezes its way in, there is a skeleton in here. It appears stocky, but also there appears to be some gears and some kind of like cog system going running. I suppose that would be north-south. One of them near the head, one near the feet.
If Khan and Reese and everybody are near me as I'm like exploring, I'm like quietly whispering what I'm seeing to them so that they have a live sort of update as we're going through.
Cool.
A cog system in each one?
Mm-hmm.
Does it seem like
wheels or chains?
Yeah.
Something. You need to make a crafting check. Yeah.
Yeah, to like
Throw
see
that
if
in
I
the
can
tower?
understand this. Into the tower.
No, you're not sure. You might need to kick Khan on this one.
I'm gonna describe it to the best of my ability with the crafting knowledge that I do have. So I like this kind of gear. And when I say this kind, I mean my character would know like a Cogsworth gear connected to a Flib Flab gear, and then that.
Sure.
Like I would just know the terminology, and then like
I'll take your failure as an aid. Khan, take a +3 and do crafting publicly.
You got it.
Let's see what happens here. You're looking for 35. Or no, you're looking for a 38.
38.
Let me
Easy money.
aid.
Easy money.
Oh,
I'm hero pointing it.
Yeah, hero point.
yeah,
Okay.
hero point.
Yeah, that wasn't
You
enough.
almost had a 20. I was so excited.
I saw
What's
that
very
too. It was
funny
almost-
is that my 12 is your 2.
Yeah. And then +3 again.
Yeah, +3. Big money, no whammies.
No whammies. Yeah,
That's better.
Okay, there we
40
go.
That's big money right there.
49. So he's definitely describing a winch and pulley system. It probably moves the graves, or at least helps in their
Oh.
moving. And they would. It seems like they're on tracks. They might move north and south.
The graves themselves move north and
Graves
south.
themselves can move north and south on kind of tracks.
That's odd. Like very wide tracks, like
Very
all the way to
thin.
the end of the room. Very thin.
They would be kind of hidden. You can't see them from outside the grave.
At first, I feel like an idiot as you're like describing what you think it is, and I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. But wait a minute, they're facing each other. It's a love story, right? Maybe we need to get them to roll until they're contacting, and that will like do something, like open a door or reveal
That makes sense.
something.
That makes sense.
Using my eye, I want to like move it out and see if I can find if there's a winch system or something in the room that needs to be used, or if there's any sort of indication of like an outside mechanism that we can manipulate.
Perception in the tower.
Perception on the tower right away. Here's my perception roll.
Arwen curls up over here and takes a nap.
She just like pets her. And she's not going anywhere until someone's like, hey, come over here. Because she has nothing and she doesn't want to take the chance and messing anything up.
You're not good at stealth, I don't think. Yeah, Zavid, you can see with that there appears to be a very tiny keyhole on the I suppose it'd be the eastern side, just above the heads, but on the pedestals. It's very kind of tucked out of the way. Little keyholes.
Okay, I also forgot how long this... Oh, it's a sustain spell, so I'm just sustaining the spell. I can do this as long as I can sustain.
Yeah, like here and here, roughly. But it's like not in the head, it's under it. In like the bed, this little keyhole.
Did we find any keys in that other chamber?
You did not.
No. I guess I'd like to float the eye over back towards first the behind the two arm cannon golem guys constructs, and I want to see if there's anything on them that looks like a key, or maybe if not, if they have maybe some sort of inner compartment, like a little blast chest door thingy.
It's the second one. They both have a little door in their chest that seems like it could open like a saloon door.
Okay. But so I'm like I think the ones in the back have the keys. I don't know if there's a way we can get those keys without fighting these things. But I think maybe if I cast a spell, I might be able to get out of this without a fight. Because I don't want to fight anything. You know me. This is not what I do. I always figure something out. All right.
If this doesn't work, then I think Con can try, because she does have like the capstone stealth ability.
That's true. You do. I should look and see what that does.
This is great. Okay. I have a spell called Ethereal Jaunt, 7th level. All right. So let me read this. You travel to the ethereal plane, which overlaps the material plane. Material plane creatures can't see me, and you can move through things on the material plane. You move at half your normal speeds, but you can move in any direction, including up and down. You can see onto the material plane within a radius of 60 feet. It is gray, hazy, and concealed from you. And is gray hazy. If it is gray hazy concealed from you, you can't affect the material plane, and you can't be affected by the material plane except by force effects and abjurations originating there. When the spell ends, you return to the material plane. If you're in the air, you fall unless you can fly, and if you're inside an object, you're pushed to the nearest open space. Interesting wording on that one. You take a little bit of damage per 5 feet, like a d6 of damage per 5 feet that you're pushed. You can cast a spell when not... if you cast this when you're not in the material plane, the spell's lost. Now, you can't affect things on the material plane while in the ethereal, but when the spell ends, you're pushed away. Now, if I have my hand inside one of the chests, and then I end the spell, I have to be pushed out, but the spell's ended. So would I be able to pull the key out as if it were part of me? And
I'll let you roll to try.
I can only get one of them this way. This is a sustained spell, which means I can't do this to 2 people. I can only do this 1 person. I have to, if I heightened it to 9th level, which I can't do, then I could target 5 additional willing creatures to a range of 30 feet. But I can only do this once to 1 creature, and these guys are a room apart. So this might not be the move. This is a move. So what does Con have? Yeah, what does Con have?
I mean, Con's idea was to cast like a greater invisibility on herself, to get in position.
Reese also has that as a WoG spell, and I think Danny does too. You have purple.
Wait.
So all 3 of them could have greater. All 4 of you, 3 of you could have greater invisibility.
So wait a second. Do any of you have thievery? Like, are you able to pick locks?
Well,
Con is legendary
Con,
thievery.
yeah.
Con.
And Reese
She
can
even
help
has
aid.
the feat. Con even has the feat legendary thief.
Con, do you want to just like cheat and pick the locks on the sarcophagi? Somebody else who feels confident enough might be able to do it.
I mean, I'm gonna be able to help Con, no problem. My thievery is plus 22, so
I can
Wait,
cast guidance.
I have another good
just-
spell. Hold on a second.
30's not bad though.
Wow, okay, I'm looking at this legendary thief feat. Listen to the wording on this. Your ability to steal defies belief. You can attempt to steal something that is actively wielded or that would be extremely noticeable or time-consuming to remove, like worn shoes or armor. She can literally just steal the key. If she can pick the lock on the chest, she can just steal the key, as long as stays hidden out of sight.
Yeah,
And
that
with
was my plan. That
Greater
was my plan.
invisibility. Okay,
Okay,
sure.
well
I
you
mean,
have that then.
why use magic when
actually-
you're just that good? You know.
Yeah. No, I actually also have what the fuck is it called? Is it expert longevity? No. What's it? What is it? The thing that I help people be quiet with. That's like a
The warden step.
yeah. We'll do warden step on top of it, and I'll
Okay.
travel along with Con.
Okay. So the two of you are like the wind.
Yeah.
Danny, what are you gonna do?
I'm casting guidance, and if anyone
Guidance.
tells me they need me, I'll come by.
I'll cast guidance on the other. I also, by the way, all else failing, I have a level 2 spell I've been wishing to use in this whole campaign called Charitable Urge. You speak on the virtue of charity, compelling the target to give away its possessions. The target must attempt a will save. If it has no items, then the spell fails, but they do technically have an item.
Uh-huh.
And on a failure on its next turn before it does anything else, the target must present the nearest creature with an item in its possession. The target chooses which item to give. If it only has one item, that's what it gives.
I feel like you've used that before.
I don't think he has.
I don't think I have.
That's
I've
funny.
been wanting to use this, but I'm not
Um,
sure I've ever used it.
I don't think you have. I don't remember
Was that
that
not what you
spell.
used on Danny's father?
No, that was Clean
No.
Curse.
Yeah, that was a different one. There's another one I've always wanted to use called Thoughtful Gift, where I can give force someone to accept a gift or something like that. It's there's some like really weird niche spells that if you're creative with them, you can make people like fuck themselves up. It's very funny.
Hilarious.
Okay.
Okay, so Con and Reese are going to go over to one to try and pick the lock and steal the key, and Zavid,
Yeah.
you're going to ethereal jaunt to take the other one. Is that the plan?
I would like to wait on. Ethereal Jaunt lasts a minute.
Mhm.
So I can Ethereal Jaunt and get him to position and wait. And she can move fast. She's a legendary thief. So I'll just wait to see if she's successful.
Okay.
If she is successful, I will just trust her to get the other one. And then I'll through the ethereal plane, I'll just get out of there before the spell time is up. But if this thing starts to like wake up or notice something, I will use my spell to get the other key as quickly as I can.
Great. So that's clockwork number 1. All right, Con, Reese.
So I'll give her like a 30-second head start to get into position at the far one, and then I'll ethereal jaunt to the close one.
So I'm going to keep you two's stealths from earlier because they were ridiculous. So you can go ahead and walk through that room as you please.
Yeah.
Boop, 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 boop,
We'll
boop,
still have that
boop.
that 4th level invisibility.
Yeah, 4th level Reese, are you casting your purple spell as well? Okay, so the both of you are. Let me give you the
We're invisible
effect.
and using warden step at the same time.
Yeah, good. So, invisible for Con and invisible for Reese. There you go. Okay, so you sneak up onto this thing, and it is a big clockwork machine. It appears to have boomsticks for arms. It does not have any items on it that you can tell.
Okay.
So,
cute.
Hi. Con, you can assurance to climb up this thing. But do you want to do it as you, or are you going to bamf into a rat form? How are you doing this?
You would need to have your
Like, are you going to try to
Mantle,
sneak
right?
into the armor or take the key, or are you trying to break the lock, or how are you doing this?
The plan was to try to lockpick it. I mean, if I were designing, like, you know, a guardian thing to hold the key to my tomb, I wouldn't put gaps in it.
Well,
I would
let's
just
look
have a
at this
regular
picture.
lock. Ah,
There are many gaps in this thing, as you can clearly see in the image.
yeah.
So you have like gaps for
You have
joints.
choices.
That makes sense. So like if you went through a joint, you might be able to get to the compartment from inside or something.
Yeah.
Just options. You can still do the trying to lockpick.
It's a matter of pride. She's gonna lockpick it. She's gonna
Cool.
lockpick it.
Okay. So I'm gonna need a thievery check, but Reese, I want you to aid. So roll thievery.
It's
Should
just
we
a
get
big
guidance on
screw
that?
on the back that you're like, okay, you're just like unscrewing the back.
Yeah, you can have guidance from Zavid, and Khan, you'll get it from Danny.
All right.
It's nice to have double guidance.
Yeah.
That's enough. It's still you only needed a 20 or
Oh, cool.
25 to crit. I looked up the rules to aid the other day. They're a little different than I thought. But yeah, that is a crit. You are trained, so that's a +2 plus guidance is 1. So take a +3, Con, for thievery.
All right. Big money, no whammies. Ugh.
I love that a 5 is still a 37.
Stiff as a board, light as a feather, stiff as a board. Okay.
Do you or anyone else have hero points?
I'm fresh
I
out.
do.
I used my hero point.
I will give you my hero point.
Correct. Hooray.
Resetting that +3.
Yep, +3.
This is like, you know, Mission Impossible music or whatever, and I'm like,
There we go.
I'm like sweating, and I'm like, watch, I'm like, come on, you got this.
Okay. Not that it matters, but that is a critical success. How do you go from a failure to a critical success? Zavid, how do you help her with that? Just because it was your hero point.
Oh, I'm on the ethereal plane. She can't hear or see me. I will. I have to sustain the spell, so I can't really do like a three action spell or anything. But maybe I can ghost sound, just right next to your ear, like there's a flap on the bottom that you have to pull first, or something like that, to help out.
Perfect. And as you do, and you look up at the face, and this machine is still not moving. You have managed to undo the mechanism. And within the chest cavity is a single brass key attached just by a hook inside.
She reaches in, she grabs it.
Give me a stealth check in the tower.
You got it.
You stop, you like take a
And
little
roll it
spray,
twice
and there's like
for
little
advantage.
lasers, so you like put your hand through the lasers to get to the hook.
Since you're invisible, roll it at advantage.
Yeah. She replaces the key with a different key of identical weight.
Yeah, it's a weight thing. You have to do something on the same weight.
I love
Perfect.
Smallest heist ever.
Good. You're so lucky you were invisible because you rolled a nat 1 first. But you managed to just barely get the key off and scurry down, and you weigh little enough that this thing amazingly does not notice you. That 51 really did it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So I'll say you can roll over your numbers to get the second one in the same manner.
And I'll once I see her moving this way, I'm like, yes, and I like rush to get here before the spell ends.
Cool. And yeah, shortly thereafter, you do come back. Danny, you see him walk out of the wall.
I'm like sweating. I'm like, that was a close call.
What is it?
Khan got the first one, and she's getting the second now. So we're gonna be once her and Reese unlock the thing, we'll see what happens. But we need to be ready to jump in if they get hostile.
Okay, so Khan, you were able, with Reese's help, to get the second one out. It goes a little easier now, especially because you know what to do, and you get the second key out. This one does not notice you.
Con is like biting her lip a little bit to stop from giggling just a little maniacally. But she's gonna sneak on over
Okay.
and look for the key compartments.
They are on the opposite side, the eastern side of the compartments. Zavid saw them earlier. They're just under the heads, in the beds. And you're realizing that it's too far for your arms to reach. You can't. So Reese might need to help you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could do that.
Yeah,
You're
we
still
can't
invisible, so.
Yeah, we can't see each other.
That's fine. Reese is gonna notice that it's like nothing much has been going on. And it's like, you know what?
Yeah.
I kind of have an idea, and just tell me what to roll, and I'll roll.
Yeah, you don't need to roll anything. You just put the
Okay.
keys in and kind of turn at the same time.
Mhm.
And as you
We
do,
hear the missile silos open up above the ground.
exactly, you see firstly all four of the machines standing there.
This would be a wonderful way to hide a nuke. It's two star-crossed lovers. We like
Oh,
bring
how
them
cute.
together, and it launches a nuke at
Right,
Druma.
no.
Like, no!
That would be some mean bullshit.
That would
But
be terrible.
as you turn the keys, the machines all go, and their heads fall, and they appear to deactivate.
I hear a clatter, thinking like, "Oh God, we activated them." I rush out like, "Die, machine scum!" And I see that they're all
Oop,
deactivated. And
Nope.
Oh.
Yellow? There we go.
never mind.
So now it's okay to just walk in.
Yes,
Yep.
they appear to be deactivated.
Good job, guys.
Now that we're like not threatened, I want to get a closer look at each of them and just see like there's no signs of rust or age on these things.
No, they seem immaculate.
Ooh, these would make great guardians for the lair.
Yeah, now that you're kind of just looking at them, I will kind of send you these stats. The Clockwork Cannoneers are level 16 constructs, and the Brass
damn.
Bastions are level 15 constructs. And they're nasty.
Con, think about this. You have 2 models each, which means, that's right, baby, you can disassemble one of them and use the one that's not disassembled as a reference to try and reverse engineer each model. So you could create, like, once you crack the code, you could make more of them because you have 2. So you can look at the insides of one without worrying about the other one being broken because you can see how that one functions. So you get like 2. I don't know. Just an idea. That's what I would do
You
if
could
I was
have
an
an
artificer.
army.
Yeah, we could make our own little army against Rovagug. Like
We have
iron
to-
and nickel.
Right.
We'd have to find some sort of place where time stands still, so I could potentially make this army without wasting too much time.
Yeah, you have about 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Well, don't we have a kobold that's learning this stuff? Green
Yeah,
one?
Jimothy-ish, yeah. Alchemy
I
and
figured-
crafting.
I
Holding a
figured
wrench.
him-
That guy's holding a wrench.
He is, you're right.
I figured him more for a potions
Oh,
guy than a machine guy.
Right.
Yeah, but you also do all sorts of stuff too.
Yeah, that
Sure.
is true.
I think he's the one that's most inspired by you. I think if you start leading him, he can then do this on his off time and sort of figure it out. Also, though, you were trying to make the Molmac.
Yeah.
This could give you ideas.
Incorporate modifications.
Yeah.
But the other thing that happens, in addition to the machines deactivating, is that the 2 statues begin to move, and they move together, and they form a single whole as their hands clasp together.
Wow.
Ooh.
I actually made that I photoshopped that myself. The original
Looks
image
good.
is just, it's all white, so I had to cut and like
You
replace and
negatived
erase, and I
out the other
negatived
one.
the left.
Yeah.
It took a long time, but I think the
And it
result
looks
was pretty
like
cool.
it. You had to
Looks
be
nice.
very
Yeah.
fine tune the line.
Yeah,
there.
it was very fine tuned, yes. But as they come together, their hands clasp. The lids containing their statues move into an alcove in the wall, and a stair appears beneath.
Ooh, sorry for the
Ooh.
distraction there.
Oh, the baby.
Oh.
This is awesome.
That's so fucking cool.
Thank you.
It's like a video game. Reese is just gonna scout forward.
I'm
Okay.
really glad we didn't have to fight them.
Yeah.
Those would have been nasty. They're
Yeah.
gross. I don't know if you read through those stats. That would have been quite a fight.
No, thank you.
Level 15, I trust that. I guess I guess we just head on down and
Reese, can
Continue
you
to be
stealth in the
sneaky.
tower?
Okay.
Yeah.
You have dark vision, I think.
I think Arwen has to like gently pick up Con in its mouth to carry her away to keep her from just drooling over the robots.
Like kind of like how like a cat takes his like baby.
Yes.
Like get
So,
you into like
yeah, so in the background you can just hear rat complaint noises.
Okay, well, as you're stealthing forward, Reese, you come down a stair and it leads into a long tunnel. And at the end of it, it opens up into a room, and on the floor, where are you, Reese?
I don't know. I just.
Yep, I'm
Right
loading.
there.
There you go. And
Where
there's a small
are you?
symbol on
Where
the
are
floor.
you?
But it opens up into a room. Do you go back to get everyone else, or do you scout the room first?
I'm scouting that room first.
All right.
Before anything. It just makes more
Great.
sense.
Sure. So you scout forward, and what did you get? That much. Okay. You see that there is a room with a small stair that is rounded, that has about 4 steps up, and there appears to be an old, aging red carpet on it, with some broken pottery here and there, a broken box.
That thing on the floor in front of me, is that just like carved, or does that look magical?
It's just carved. Doesn't
Okay,
look magical
can I
to you.
still do like maybe like an Arcana check or something?
Sure, roll that in the tower.
What you trying to do? What you doing?
Doesn't scream magical to you. Doesn't look like any arcane rune you've ever seen. Seems decorative.
I think Reese barely ever does this, but also do a detect magic.
Okay. You detect magic, but not from this symbol. It's to your northeast.
Okay, so Reese walks forward a little bit then.
Okay. And what you see is 4 little benches and an additional dais, and there is a large golden statue of a dwarf woman with holding flowers, and she's got flowers in her hair.
Alright, so he pretty much, I'm gonna just keep Reese there, but Reese is gonna pop back over to everyone else, say it's clear.
Sure. I'll just drop everyone. There you go.
Walk forward. I'm sort of not afraid of traps since we got past the big barrier. I'm assuming that this place isn't like bugged.
Yeah.
Kind of like looking around.
Seems very abandoned, has not been used in a very long time. And in an alcove, there is a large gold statue of a dwarf woman.
Is it like solid gold or gold plated, like a gilded statue, or
Give me a crafting check in the tower.
yeah, solid gold statues? Didn't we find another statue in a bank vault that was like that?
You did. Or that was the candelabra that was solid gold. You're pretty sure that this is probably gold plated, not solid gold. But it's still very pretty and probably still valuable. But everyone give me a religion check
Religion
in the
check.
tower.
Bronwyn, can you give us a religion check? No.
I love her name.
I love when the dice tell the
We're
story.
streaming. I'm not supposed to say her name online.
It's
We don't have many viewers, it's fine. But I love when the
Viewers,
dice are telling the story. Khan, apparently you know a lot about Dwarvis and Dwarven culture. You are aware that this is a statue to the goddess Bolka. She is the daughter of Torag, and she's the goddess of marriage and relationships and love in the Dwarven pantheon.
Oh,
Daughter of Torag, who's the big man, the big guy.
yeah.
She was he created her as a wedding present to his wife Fulgrit. You rolled a nat 20, so anything you want to know about Bolka, you know about Bolka.
Okay.
Wow. I want to look at the ruled up scrolls here, or any of the other stuff that's around the altar.
Yeah, they're mostly in Dwarvish. They appear to be like marriage vows. There are love letters here. Knowing what you know about religion and religious altars, You get the sense that these are probably offerings to her. All of these love letters and marriage copies of marriage certificates, things of that nature.
Okay.
It seems like this is a holy place at which to perform wedding ceremonies. And as a cleric, you would know that performing a ceremony at a religious altar like this would probably give benefits. Like buffs.
No. Mm-hmm.
You know, Danny,
Head
you might
turn.
have you.
Head turns to look at Danny. Danny, have you decided where you and Bruce are getting married yet?
No, not yet. Oh,
I think you should get married here.
do you think that's what the universe is pointing to?
Well,
Because it's
Yes.
oddly specific.
You know, there's also an additional Arion who's planning to get married.
ooh. I think I'm like trying to explain it. But Khan, you're the one that got the nat 20 if you want to like be the character.
She knows
that,
the
like,
dwarf
helps it.
stuff, but you know the marriage stuff.
Okay.
Like the
Yeah.
ceremony stuff.
Yeah.
I'll say like this is like a very holy place to this
But it also
Aka?
would make sense, wouldn't it?
Bolka.
Bolka. Thank you. Bolka. Buka? This is like a holy site. The same way that there are certain very sacred places for certain gods. People will make pilgrimages. They'll go to those places. This is on that level, but it has been hidden away for secret lovers. And that was the two famous ones that I never read because I didn't grow up with that story, but you all know it. That apparently they were real, and this is a place for them. So I think if you have your wedding here, at this place, you will get a sort of a blessing from that divine source.
You know what? We haven't picked the place yet. And Shadow Valley is home. More than Druma will ever be.
Well, that's for you and your therapist to work out. But I will say that
Safid, you are
only
my
get-
therapist. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
God. I will say this is the one and only time, hopefully, that you'll be getting married. So if you're going to do it at the place where you'll get the most benefit, right?
And she looks down at because she realizes she's still wearing the wedding dress. Maybe I should have changed.
No, I don't think so. I think this is this gets the visual, and this place would work well for you two. It's not really my style or your brother's, really.
But
I like,
Zavid could perform the ceremony for both at the same time.
He could.
If he wanted to do a dual marriage.
Zavid's
Nah.
like wondering why you're like referencing the dress, and then he puts two together and goes, "Oh, that's the wedding dress.
Yes.
I thought you were just being extra. I thought you were just being you." All right.
And then-
Okay. Yeah. No. That's now you have to because you wore it when you came in here. So like, you've got to do it here.
But Zavid, I've been meaning to ask you. There's a couple of things. First, I'm slightly annoyed with you for the sole purpose of you was hiding my sister, but also I understand why you did it, so I won't take it any further than that.
Well,
I know why.
I kind of look around. We're in a very, very secluded place. I'm like, okay, well, so that was obviously to protect your bloodline. And do you know the whole story? Did your grandma talk to you?
My sister slipped up.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't think
tell
she
her-
knows about the code.
I tell her about everything. So, Cliff Notes. There is obviously 4 of you, but each of you has a secret part of this key to get Rovagug is hidden in your genetic code. It's part of the reason why you all have like the same, I think, eyes, even though your parents had different eyes. So, okay, hiccups, huh? They need all of your blood. Now, with the brothers, well, one of them have had his blood forever, which is
Eredril.
Eredril. Mythanar has been he's been not hidden. Like, yes, he was under the employ of the orcs for a long time, and by employ I mean they owned him essentially. But he wasn't protected by them, so there's no telling who could have stuck their way in there, pricked his finger, got his blood. It could have happened at any point. And since you got out of the tower, because you've just been traveling openly with Zavid and everybody, the fact that you've been doing that means at any point, any of the enemies that we came across could have gone to a place where we had a fight, gotten some of your blood from there, or maybe got your blood during a fight. There's no telling where you had spilled blood before. The only sibling we know for sure has never been found and never been contacted yet was your sister. Mm-hmm. And so when we found her, we wanted to make sure that we got her out of that situation before the Octurne the Stranger got rid of the cover that she was hiding behind. Mm-hmm. And I used a simulacrum to basically give her a body double. Since everybody thinks she's a wizard, because that's what she was when she went missing, this body double's playing the part of her that makes the most sense. Anyone that might be trying to sneak their way into the Castle Druma, maybe undercover, maybe they're pretending to be a servant and trying to get to her, are gonna get an icy nothing when they try to get her blood, and they're gonna be like, what? They're not gonna understand that she's not the one. The one is actually hiding as a servant and is keeping an eye on things. So if my simulacrum realizes that its very hard magical ice body gets damaged by somebody in an attempt to get blood out of them, they're gonna let me know, and we're gonna know that there's a fox in the hen house, right? We're gonna know somebody's there. Additionally, by giving them basically your grandma's in charge of this plan, but essentially she's going to take some of your blood, and just in case they don't have it, use it as bait to try and flush out our enemies so that we can lock down on a lead that we can use to get rid of this cult before the time comes. Ideally, out of game, it's not as fun this way, but the best case scenario would be we stop the cult before the Rovagug thing happens. Obviously, for the story, it makes a lot more sense. It's more fun that Rovagug does either get loose or is about to get loose, and we stop it at the last possible second or something. That's the more fun thing, satisfying for the story. But we're trying to do our best to be smart, and maybe Eli is smarter than us and might figure out a way to give us the best of both worlds. So this is the gambit that we have going right this second.
I'll tell you this much: you have foiled several plans, but I still have more.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad we foiled some plans. I can't wait at the end of this campaign to hear all the different things that we foiled.
Oh, absolutely.
Archibus Baldebard, he was making deals with devils left and right. You foiled him. Artifex Glastwick Finibus, he was doing some stuff that you... Ilkana Alinor, Karutz. Lots of plans.
Mm-hmm. You just want to be like this, child? Is this what makes you happy?
Yeah.
Whatever.
So, I assume that you just explained that all in character, apart from the
yeah,
actual IRL.
There's literally a spell that is thought dump or something like that, or I could give you 10 minutes of exposition in an instant. Yeah, so I could cast that, but we'll just fast forward and say that I give you the rundown.
So
and I say, I'm sorry that I didn't ask for permission about your blood, but they were going to try and get it one way or another. This way, if we know that they have it, and they have it in a way that we control, you are free to fight, and we don't have to worry about them getting your blood. They're not gonna target you specifically, and we might be able to catch on to whoever's trying to get rid of Roga. Because right now we have a whole lot of nothing. We don't know who is doing what to do what.
So she kind of shakes her head and she just nods and she's like, "That's so much, but I understand." Like I said, I was upset for a total of 5 minutes, and then I have grown up quite a bit. But I'm just real quick. Is that why I was on that fucking planet with my grandmother and my crazy ass brother?
Oh, right. Now that is your grandma's idea, right? They put you on the planet. So, I don't know. I think she basically said
Danny, all you know is that she needed to get a really old book, and she was very single-minded about this book. And anytime you got distracted by like animals or whatever, she would scold you that you got to get that book. She got it. She never told you what it was for.
She just like looks around like really mad at her grandmother for that second. It's fine. No, Zavid's gone. Okay, we'll
Oh.
wait for him to come back.
You want to take a quick intermission? I think this is a great
Yes,
spot.
that'd
Yeah.
be great.
Yes, please.
All right, wonderful. We hope we'll be back in about 10 or 15 minutes. If anybody's watching, we hope you'll join us. See you in a moment. Bye.
Bye.
Hi,
All right.
everyone.
Hey, we're back from our intermission. Thank you. So, where last we left off, Lux Et Umbra had their new Mummator Ankh friend who had been digging a new labyrinth beneath Shadow Valley had discovered a lost catacomb wherein lied Xander and Veltel, apparently real people, or real dwarves who actually died, not just a story. But deep within, they had found the altar of Bolka, the dwarven goddess of marriage, and have since gathered some friends from up above in Shadow Valley, and this is where we're coming back.
So, I'm gonna ask is out of character in a moment, but in character, Zavid, I have a question to ask you.
No, you can't have any of my cheese, and I'm sorry that it has to be this way.
I never liked it your cheese anyway. Wait, what the?
Well, it's your loss, all right? Because I get it straight from Absalom, all right? And it's the best. You want it? You can order it yourself. They do shipping.
Your cheese probably has spider poo in it, so I don't want it.
I'm just like, I like shrug, like, what the hell are you talking about? But what I actually say is like,
So?
Okay. Zavid,
Mm.
would you officiate me and Bruce's ceremony? And would you wed us?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know you were gonna. I thought I assumed that you wanted me to do it, so I was like, and I like pull out this like this little book of like my stuff, and I've been like writing the whole thing. Like, I thought you were gonna have me do it, and I thought it was weird that like I hadn't heard anything. I'm like, oh, I guess we are saving the world. We're busy. It's fine, but thank you for asking. I will be glad to.
And then she looks at Khan. Would you be my maid of honor?
Oh, I would be so happy. She starts jumping up and down a little bit.
And Reese, totally aware that I have a grandmother and a brother
Yes, very
and
much.
multiple of siblings when I thought I had none.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But would you walk me down the aisle?
It would be an honor. We like practically practiced that anyway when we were kids, so yeah, let's do it.
I know, it's like when we were like 75 all over again.
To be young.
Elf humor.
So good.
Oh,
Take a hero
good
point for that. That was
It
hilarious.
was really fucking good.
Woo!
like turn around. I see we have like a bunch of our like followers and minions here, and I'm like, whoa, it's crowded in here.
They got curious after there was no explosions.
Even our potion stirrer, what's his name? The fat little
Bubbles.
homunculus.
Bubbles.
I loved it, Bubbles.
I just wanted to populate it while we were on intermission, so it was much faster.
Yes.
Yeah, no worries.
We're good.
So, I
They
have
would be
an idea.
slowly dribbling in. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
What if I was to pop to Druma, pick up Bruce, my siblings, and she thinks of, I forgot his name. What's the crazy one?
Eredrill.
Eredrill. She thinks of like Eredrill, and she's like, oy vey. And a few other people. And why don't we have the wedding here? And we get everybody from town. Because, yeah.
This is kind of a secret chamber, and getting everyone from town down here would be very difficult.
Yeah.
No, not
how do
everyone
we-
from town. We're gonna have the party upstairs
Oh,
outside.
okay. Yes.
Okay.
Remember where the Pride Fest was at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't
Ah.
there.
Reese, you would have loved it. You would have loved the Pride Fest, Reese.
It was
I
so
bet.
fantastic.
Reese, there was a barbarian, a dragbarian.
That's.
It was a dragbarian. It was amazing.
I'm intrigued, honestly.
Sorry, I don't want you to feel FOMO, but you got to be here for the next one. You
I
just
want
gotta.
to be, please.
No excuses. I don't care if your dad, who never gets sick, is sick. You gotta come to this.
Okay, fine.
All right. But I'm like, listen, we can have it right the way if you want. I just need to get a bit ready. How about tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Can we make that work?
That works for me.
I've
All
got
right.
nothing
Hopefully it
going
works
on.
for your fiance too. And if
He
not, you
has
can
no
abduct
choice.
him and take him back here. It'll work either way.
Say they
like
will,
that's-
Danny. I'll get him. I'll get him. I'll get him.
Like that time Archibald got me. Oh, good old days.
Bruce is the one that distracted you because long enough for him to snatch you. But that status that Zvid cast, that was so clutch.
That was so
Clutch.
good.
Was
I
one
did
of the
not
most-
realize it was good. I was
That's-
like, something feels a little weird, so I'm just gonna.
That status spell is one of the most clutch things you've ever done.
This
Saved you
campaign,
hours.
I've noticed I've had a weird sixth sense for
Oh
stuff.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
And I don't-
You have.
And the thing is, like, you don't tell me what's coming up. You'll like allude to like next session's gonna be crazy. You guys are gonna love it, but you don't actually give me any
No,
details. I'm just like,
It's
oh,
very
okay.
funny.
And then in the moment, I'm like, wouldn't it be funny? And you're just like, how did he know? Like, I don't know. I just.
That's so good. Well,
No,
you,
it works.
you
It's
two
great.
do that to each other all the time. Whether it's
Yeah.
like one-upping each other or foiling plans. It happens.
I don't know. We just have
True.
DM brain. We just
do, yeah.
think like DMs all the time.
Absolutely accurate. So if you're waiting for the next day, I'm going to give you all a long rest, and I need Zavi. Oh, let me.
I gotta look up my spells because I think
Yep.
there's like a ceremony or something spell.
Do you
As
still
well.
have all of the characters from the Pride Fest?
Oh yeah. I don't remember all of their
Let's
names, but I
go.
could look them up. Yeah, I have them all.
Did
She
you want
invites all of them.
to end soon so we can prepare more for a wedding for next episode?
Yeah, I thought we were just doing a quick little thing
Or are we
Oh,
doing this
because
like,
this chamber's not very big.
No,
I was
this would just
thinking-
be like
This
We
is
could do the
this is the ceremony, and then you can do this the reception
Reception?
either up
Yes.
top or wherever. Yeah.
We'll do the
That's
reception next session.
Okay.
that's exactly
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
I like that idea. There we
Yeah.
go. Yeah. So
Sorry. I'm reading my spells, and I'm like, what spells can I cast during the wedding? How about brand the impenitent against Bruce? You brand the target with an ethereal copy of your deity's religious symbol. Another one, augury. Predict whether a course of action brings good fortune. Is this wedding a good idea? I'm just looking at my cleric spells and laughing because in the context of a peaceful situation, it's very funny. Death
It
knell.
is.
Finish off a creature. Sorry.
okay, I'm giving you all a long rest once Fantasy Grounds catches up with it. There
Ooh,
it is.
this is a good one. This is just good for the moment. I'm gonna do this one.
Okay, so Zavid and Khan, I need you to roll me will saves, DC 35.
You got it. You got it.
Okay. I'm gonna roll high on this.
Are you?
Hmm.
Oh no.
Hmm.
You
I gave away my hero points, so
I gave
was
someone
gonna-
one a minute
I'll
ago.
give.
I was gonna say, do you
Oh,
want
yeah,
do you want to
actually.
hero point that?
This is your wedding. Do you want me to have a hero point
Of course
so that I
want you to
can
have a
make
hero
this?
point.
If he
Okay.
doesn't get a hero point, he's going to be sickened too because he's so grossed out by your religion.
Okay,
there
here we
you
go.
go.
We're good.
Just
We're good.
fine. Khan,
For your wedding, I guess I'll stomach this.
Khan, you fail, but just regular fail.
Yeah.
So not as bad as it was yesterday. There you go, Khan. You have Seeker's Blindness, the not terrible one.
Gotcha.
So you only a little forgot to take your meds. But yes, the next Danny, you would have been able to teleport back to Druma shortly thereafter, and the next morning, round the troops up, get Bruce and your immediate family ready, and by
Ooh,
the next
and what's her name? The sword. I
Maris?
left her. That was her name.
Lord Maris. Sayora Maris.
And then who else was she really close to in the castle? Oh, would she have been able to get her handmaiden?
Oh,
I
what is
forgot her
Abby.
name.
Abby.
Abby.
Sure. I think that's about as many as your spell can keep, though.
That's
Abrolda Barrelfloater. That's her name. The niece of Unky Grizgriz. So yes, the next day, what would the three of you be doing to set up and like prepare for this big, very big moment?
We gotta have more seating.
Okay. I think I can help with that. How do you find seating?
Why did my brain jump to Khan reprograms one of the automatons to do nothing but make like booths and seats? Instead of just pulling out carpentry skills, she's like, no, I gotta reprogram the robot to do it.
You did program the not algorithm, the what are those things? Anagram maker, the anagram maker, so we know you know how to code. So just throw a crafting in publicly.
All right, this is great. I have the spells I want to do.
Amazing. 30, that's pretty high. Yeah, okay. 39. So you're able to make this machine, they aren't pretty, but it is able to bang out basic benches. Just such a basic bench. But you're able to get 4 benches, I'll say, from the automatons that you were able to deactivate. And 2, 3.
She stayed up all night, like reprogramming the automatons. It could have taken like 2 hours to make 4 benches.
But why would you do that?
Exactly.
Reese, what are you doing to prepare?
Reese is just going over all like the fine details of things, making sure everything looks perfect. He's basically on just like, I don't know, like watch duty of like, okay, are any flowers aligned? Is this bench in the same place? Okay, are there any tripping hazards? And you know, things like that. He's just making sure it's all good.
Great. Just give me a society tower in the tower.
Okay.
So that you can like get the Mummator and the kobolds to help you with the cleaning and everything. Alright, you and all of them are a whirlwind. You take command, and I can't fix the map on the fly because all of the broken jars and boxes are part of the map, but you were able to get those cleaned up. You get this place dusted, you get rid of the cobwebs. It's looking very nice. The kobolds even kind of polish some of the walkways. They get rid of that old carpet, replace it with a nicer, newer carpet. I wonder if I have an asset for a carpet.
Probably.
I sure don't. That's weird.
Wow.
Unusual. I usually have stuff. But, and then Zavid, what are you doing to prepare for the day?
Oh, I got a lot of stuff.
You're just preparing magic?
I've got a lot of spells that I'm going to be casting and
Awesome.
doing. So, the first thing I'm going to do. This is an old, dusty chamber that's been underground for who knows how long. The fact that we just waltzed in without aerating it first was very dumb. If there was no oxygen here, we all would have just fucking died. So I'm going to use Cleanse Air. And I'm going to cast that at 6th level, which the area of air cleansed is 500 feet. You purify the air in the area, making it clean and breathable. The spell immediately removes inhaled poisons, pollution, and similar contaminants from the air. For the remaining duration, the spell prevents any further contamination, though there isn't really any, like, I don't think there's any toxic events here.
It's the HEPA filter spell.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, I make sure that everything is nice and clean to breathe as a 6th level spell. Next.
Great.
The next thing I want to do is, this takes an hour to cast, so prior to when people are here, but not when all the guests are here, but like when we're like before the ceremony, I want to spend an hour to cast Create Food at 8. I mean, how many guests are we getting?
I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more than what's on the 7. Well, if you include Bruce.
So we're only expecting 7 guests?
7 additional, in addition to like the kobolds and the Mumator and Chompy.
Okay. So I'm going to cast this at 6th level. I can feed up to 50 medium creatures with Create Food. But that on its own, not so great. The food is bland and unappealing, even though it is nourishing. Lasts a day. So we get it all set up. Then, after the ceremony, for a minute, all I need to do is cast Enhance Victuals. You transform the target into delicious fare, changing water into wine or another fine beverage, or enhancing the food's taste and ingredients to make it a gourmet treat. And that lasts an hour. So once we're ready to eat, I'll do that, and then we will have food for everybody. It's going to taste good. It's going to be good. It also counteracts any poisons. So if anyone wanted to sabotage the wedding, it's not happening. Not on my watch.
Yep.
Here, I've got a
the
big
wedding
table
planner.
for you.
You might think this is going overboard, but I think this is exactly what you need to be doing when a queen is getting married, right?
Yes.
And then before we actually do the ritual, I'm going to walk up to Bruce and to Danny, and I'm going to, at 4th level, cast Clear Mind to you both. This is going to. This is
let's
more
say
for,
that they're. Let's have them come back at this point. So
Okay,
Danny,
yeah.
you would have gone back to Druma the night before, rallied everybody. They didn't have much time to prepare, but they got their best, for what they have, and you're able to teleport back, and everyone appears at the southern end in a flash, and you can see that everyone is quickly scurrying about this room. It is much cleaner than it was yesterday, Danny. But to share, this is just dumb fun. Bruce, since he didn't have a ton of time to finish and getting his, he was getting his tailored suit, but it's not done yet. So he comes in a tank top with a tuxedo print upon it. And Prince Mythanar, again, did not exactly have the time to get a full tuxedo, so he shows up with his surfboard and his tuxedo surf shorts.
Oh, I love it.
Good Lord.
I made that one this morning. That was in Discord when I said I might make something stupid. That was what I was talking about.
I love it. It's so funny.
So all of you appear with Danny's teleport.
Does our the halfling servant that is just a
Yes,
servant? Are
that
they
is
here
correct.
as well?
The
Cool.
halfling servant Marigold Shortbridge is here, in addition to Eredrill, who I'll just show these arts. They're fun. We have here Prince Eredrill Arion, Danny's brother, who has been turned into a tiefling due to the torture done to him by Elkanah Alinor. Then there is, I just showed Mythanar, I don't need to show him again. Then there's Marigold Shortbridge, who all of you know is actually Princess Serenulia in disguise. That bow on her head is actually a hat of disguise. And since she was raised with halflings, she knows their culture, she knows their ways, she knows their language. She felt it would be easiest to hide as a halfling. Then there is Danny's handmaiden for many decades, Abby or Abrolda Berofluter, who all of you know from your past adventures in Fogton. And additionally, there is the person who sits upon the throne of Druma in Danny's stead, Lord Sayora Maris. She is the steward of Druma when Danny is not there. And lastly, there is the beautiful, wise, and ancient blonde elf Danny's grandmother, Queen Talandia Adasaril, Empress of the Elves. All of these people appear with Danny as all of you are bustling about.
Zavid is dressed as a typical sort of priestly robes, but they are black with accents of purple and like blood red, which I think look very snazzy. But the way that it's not just like neat trim, it's like
there's a little bit of like spiky like flourishes here and there to make me look just a little bit evilish. And then I've got the little priest collar type of situation going. And I see everybody show up. I'm like, please, everyone, take your seats.
Just goes to the back with Danny.
Oh! I need to talk to the bride and groom.
I
Where's-
would imagine.
We'll imagine
Dan-
Bruce is somewhere. Oh, there he is.
Oh, there he is. Oh, Bruce, come this way.
Bruce takes like a step back.
Lumpy, your thing's on mute.
My bad. There we go. Yep. I was able to prove Bruce for you.
Say, all right, now, there's one final measure to make sure that this goes off without a hitch. I have a spell that I like to cast a couple times here.
And that, starting with Danny, I cast Clear Mind, and I have to do it every time I want to target something with. The first thing is I want to target controlled. At 4th level, I can repeal the controlled or counteract the controlled condition. You are not being controlled against your will. I'm making sure that this is consensual, so I'm doing that. This is more of a, unless Eli says otherwise, this is more of just like going through the motions of making sure that this is all above board. I do the same thing to Bruce, making sure he's not being mind controlled by the enemy or some weird thing. And then the second time I do it at a lower level, but this time I target the frightened condition. I make sure you guys are at ease. Your nerves are calmed, and you're not scared of this moment, but more excited. So I make sure that you guys are feeling good. Clear your minds, and then afterwards, the last spell I'm gonna cast prior to the ritual. It's gonna be a nice one. This is a 2nd level spell called Gentle Breeze. A light, soothing breeze flows through the area, making it easier to rest and recover. Mechanically, medicine checks are better. People get a +2 status bonus to saving throws against afflictions, blah, blah, blah. They would regain hit points better. But really, the idea is just things... You're underground, and it might be a little stuffy. This breeze kind of makes it so that people feel a little bit like they're almost outside. And I cast that in the 40-foot burst area of where, like, this area is.
That is lovely.
Alright, so stand. I guess I gotta stand right. Trying to get to the center, trying to center myself there.
I can turn off grid snap. Try now. Does that
nope.
do anything? That didn't do anything? Okay, never mind.
No, that's okay. I wonder if I can. Nope, that's the. Nope. Nope. Nope.
All right.
Nope. Nope. Oh, there it is. Control. If I hold control, I can find.
Cool. Good to know.
It's Alt in Roll20, so I was trying to figure out what it was. All right. Cue the organ music.
Thank you for reminding me I have music.
Yeah.
Just for me.
Wow, I should.
Elliot, if you have something.
Let me just give me a hot minute. I didn't think about that actually.
Here, I've got a good one. I'll just send you a link in Discord.
Yep.
Starman.
Ah.
Here you go. Fighter of the day, man. Can you attach a link, or do you need like a file?
I need file, but
crap.
let me see if I can redirect where music stuff is coming out of. Give me a hot minute. You guys roleplay. I don't care.
Can we say that Bubbles did baking? Remember? At the
Yes. Bubbles is definitely a good baker. That's right. Oh, I don't have it. How do I not have a cake asset? So,
I feel like
God, there's
that
so many
might be
things.
Game of Thrones.
That's too many. Yes, my family's watching Game of Thrones in the background. Is that coming through my mic? Good God.
Yeah.
My family watches stuff way too loud. That is the thing I'm learning from this.
Nah, I can't hear anything, which is actually pretty funny.
That is funny. Oh lord, there are too many assets online. I can't clip one. Never mind, that's gonna take too long.
No worries.
So, yeah, as people are starting to filter in, they're taking their seats. Um, it's a very beautiful scene, even though it's so quaint and small. You can really feel the love in the air. And those of you who are more attuned to the divine, like Zavid, would probably realize that it's mostly because of this statue. It gives off like a vibe of wanting relationships to work, for lack of a better word. That's one of Bolka's edicts, is to bring couples together, to like give confidence to shy single people, or to rekindle flames of marriages that have gone a little bit cold. You know, that's her whole purpose, is relationships and rekindling love and bringing people together from marriages, things of that nature. And as she is a dwarven god and Bruce is half dwarf himself, it actually is kind of fitting. I didn't plan that part. That just kind of worked.
Okay.
What do you want Arwen and Ares to be doing?
She would have dressed Ares up in a large tuxedo. The husband may not have one, but the dog does.
Of course.
And he's the ring bearer. And Arwen is, she is our flower girl. Our flower
She has to
cat.
be careful because she'll burn them otherwise. She
Yeah.
can carry them in her mouth, I think, and not burn them.
So she just kind of like shakes her head and a few fall out.
And, oh yeah, Khan is going to be the maid of honor, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what a maid of honor does at a wedding apart from kind of stand there.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
The maid of
Well,
honor does like all of, believe it or not, a lot. She does actually quite a bit.
Almost done.
Sweet. So Zavid, well, no, don't want you to start yet, I guess. People would be trying to bring gifts, though, but they're clearly very last-minute gifts because no one was expecting to be doing this. So, like, Mythonar gives you a book that he must have just taken off a shelf from, like, the library or something. You've probably read it. But he wrapped it, and it's not a good wrap job, but you can tell he tried and failed and tried to do it again, because you can see that there were tape marks that were undone and redone. There's effort, but it's not correct effort. With Mythonar's gift. Eredril, he brings you a gourd that has a happy face on it that was done in pink paint. It's a very nice face, but it's very Joker-esque across the bottom of this gourd. Your grandmother brings you a really old box, inside of which is a silk veil, and she tells you that it was the veil that your mother wore on her wedding day. Can't hear you.
That on. Oh, she
there
makes
you
sure
are.
to have. There you go. She makes sure to have her grandmother place that on her.
And she does so very daintily, places it over your face. And it's very see-through, so you don't have trouble seeing or anything like that. But yes, it's lovely. It's light as a feather, and you hardly notice that it's even there.
All right.
Okay. And
Heck yeah, good
I
timing.
have everything set up.
Wonderful. So Reese and I guess they would be there. Where's the queen? Tilandia. There she is. I need to move her. There we go.
I'm also gonna cast one more
Anything you need.
series of spells before the ritual. Just heroism on myself and my 2 secondary casters. It'll give us a +1 on our skill checks, which we'll need for the ritual. So, in the last 10 minutes.
Heck yeah, perfect. That is perfect.
Can I do one thing?
Of course.
Can I cast prestidigitation, and can it look like there's twinkling lights in the like ceiling?
Oh yeah, easy enough, of course. The stars of the night sky appear on the top of the roof of this cave. They twinkle and shine as you move around, as though they were backlit gems in the ceiling.
Amazing.
Before we start, I need to know. Have you the wing?
You said it was who was the ring bearer? Is it Arwen or is it Ares?
Aries.
And these rings, do they total cumulatively 600 gold pieces?
Yeah. They were handcrafted by Bruce, who is a master, or like, essentially a legendary smith, and his mother Magdalene helped craft them as well, who is also, again, an incredible dwarven smith. So yeah, these rings were forged by very, very accomplished dwarven smiths with the backing of the Druman treasury. So these are definitely worth that. But Ares carries them in a big box in his mouth down this aisle and places them in the box in your hand and steps over to the side.
Awesome. And I wait for the procession to begin.
Yes. As the music begins to play, which is like a sugar wanter and playing along on her harp that Danny found, and amongst other music that is ethereal and magic coming from all around you, Arwen the fire leopard walks slowly down the aisle with roses and other flowers, lilies, elven lilies, in her mouth, shaking them so that the petals fall off as she goes. And she comes to the end and goes back behind the statue near Ares, out of the way. And then that is when the music begins to swell. And it is time for the procession of the walking of the bride.
Awesome. Can we do that command thing where like they can move at the same time?
Click, shift, click, yeah. Do you want Danny to control them?
Yes.
Okay, Ash, click on Danny, and then hold shift, and then click Reese.
I actually can't find shift on this computer.
Oh, that's weird. I'll do it.
Okay.
See, I can move you simultaneously.
Oh, thank goodness.
I'll take care of it.
Okay, thank you.
Mm.
She kind of like looks to Reese like, I'm kind of actually nervous, but like excited.
Yeah, no. You got this. Like, we've rehearsed this so many times. We didn't even need to practice for today.
You're right.
Right? Like,
It's like we're in the castle all over again.
yeah, it's fine, except this is much prettier than that tower.
And I'm not stuck in there.
No, you have
Against my
freedom
will.
now, so
So much freedom.
I
Okay.
know. Wild.
And as you're getting to the end, you see that there's a few steps up. Looking to the right, you see Bruce in his tuxedo tank, and Zavid in the center in his cleric-y robes. And Reese, I'll have you step off to the side.
Before he does do that, he's just gonna give a little forehead kiss to Danny and then walk away.
Just like a little tear in her eye.
Bruce is all dumb smiles ear to ear.
So,
Like-
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, she's just like, it's been so many years.
Now, marriage is what brings us together today.
That's what brings us together today.
Marriage, that blessed wings, man. That dream within a dream.
Oh god.
I've actually never once in my life, as Shane, ever thought about officiating with. I actually have no idea what to say. Basically, I'll just
It's
say
very
that
Zavid.
It is very Zavid.
Zavid will say. I guess he'll start with something like, "Ladies and gentlemen, and gentle creatures, we are gathered here today to witness a wedding, a marriage between two souls, that of Queen Danny Daniela, right? Daniela?
Yeah.
Daniela, Ariane of the Throne of Druma, and what's Bruce's last name?
Mithril Arm.
And Bruce Mithril Arm. You all know these two, or one of these two, very well, and you know just how deeply they feel for one another. Today, we stand gathered here underneath the statue of Bolka, who is a goddess or divine who presides over these types of ceremonies, these holy moments where two souls who love each other become bound forever. That is what we plan to do today. So, let us not waste time. Do you, Bruce, take Daniela to be your lawfully wedded wife, to love and to cherish? He's like reading his hand. For as long as you both shall live.
Nah,
In
yeah.
sickness and in health.
Nah, yeah, I do.
And, Daniela, do you promise to take Bruce as your lawfully wedded husband, to love and to cherish in sickness and in health for as long as you both shall live?
I do. Yeah, I do.
I might have to make a check for this, but I want to sleight of hand and cast Thoughtful Gift to send to each of their hands the rings.
Nice. Okay, yeah. Roll us thievery.
It's two first level spells, and I don't know.
Oh, it's a spell. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but I want to do like a cool. I want to be cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So roll either a stealth or a thievery public, whichever you choose.
Stealth is much better.
Do that one then.
So I'll do that one. Yeah. For those who aren't paying attention, it probably.
Yeah. If people were paying attention to your hands, they'd notice it. But anyone who's crying is not going to notice, which plenty of people are.
Yeah. So you guys feel a ring materialize in both of your hands. And I gesture for you each to place the rings on each other's fingers before the last part of the ceremony.
Bruce takes your hand and he says,
I knew since the day you got taken in that restaurant that this day would come. It was one of the worst, but also best days of my life. Here's to many more.
and he slips the ring on.
She's ugly crying. But then as she gets the ring and she's like, let's see. From the day that I first met you at the Pride Fest, I was not known as, and I'm so sorry, Grandma, as the horny bard. Because that's what everyone thought I was. But I wasn't until I met you. And, okay, sorry. But meeting you that day was the best thing that could have ever happened. And she places it up.
And now I would like you both to make diplomacy and or society checks to help
That would
me.
be your secondaries. Yeah, that's Con and Reese.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
So diplomacy.
Connor Reeves.
Or...
Oh, I thought the secondaries were the willing
is it?
creatures. Yeah, you can
Oh,
imagine a
is it?
bond between two willing creatures who are secondary casters of the ritual and must share genuine affection.
Oh, I understand. I see. I just don't have stats for him. I see. Let me roll something then.
And ignore that.
Diplomacy
He
or-
seems like a diplomacy over society. He seems like
Yeah,
a
he
very
does.
easygoing guy.
Yeah. I just need a stat.
My
Okay.
diplomacy's better than my society.
He has a +1 bonus for heroism,
Mm-hmm.
as does Danny.
Okay.
Do I roll it
And-
publicly?
Yes, publicly, and you need a 28 because this is not a very high spell. It's a 6th level ritual, so it's not that high.
Is Danny
So-
rolling for the animals or?
No, she and Bruce are the secondary casters in
okay.
this ritual, so you need a 28. Oh, and Bruce got
Oh,
a
wow.
42. He criticaled on
Okay.
his diplomacy.
Nice,
Danny,
nice.
Danny, if you gave yourself guidance, that's all you
Yep.
need for a critical.
Yep.
Yeah?
And
Okay.
plus I had the +1 from heroism.
Oh, that's right. The heroism,
Got
that was
that.
even
I
it.
didn't know if you already
Yeah.
incorporated that or not.
No,
No, I
she
forgot.
did not. I can see in the numbers she did
Okay.
not. So, because of your heroism, then, without guidance, Danny gets a critical. So, Zavid, you can see under Heart Bond the critical success. Oh, wait, no, you have to roll your religion.
I have to now make my main check, but they're aiding essentially. So what does that add, right?
The 3 total.
So
Wait, no, criticals. The 5 total because you have your
Okay.
heroism, and you could put a guidance on top for 6.
So the 6, and I'm a ritualist dedication, so that's another plus
8.
2. So that's 8.
Uh,
Okay.
You need a 30.
So a
'Cause this
30
is not
on a religion check, which I'm legendary in. I literally have to get a nat 1
Yeah,
to
you
fail.
have to get a nat 1 to fail in this circumstance. 53. What do? That's more than a critical success.
I say, as I'm like officiating and finishing the ritual, and I'm kind of doing these like sort of hand gestures, sort of like I'm casting the spell essentially. But it's almost like I'm not really consciously doing it as much as I'm trying to channel like some divine energy in the moment to like what feels right to kind of make sure. It's almost like, you know, in Spider-Man 2, when Doc Ock is his little arms on the sun and he's keeping the solar flares or promises from getting. That's like how I feel like I'm like feeling out, making sure that this ritual goes off and make sure there's no. Because literally, critical fail says magical backlash creates discordant energy among the participants, and then for a week, you guys are clumsy and stupefied too. So like,
it would have been bad.
So it could blow up. So I'm like, it's like this invisible force that I'm trying to like nudge and get into. So as I'm like kind of doing this, I say, "You may now kiss the spouse."
And Bruce leans over and puts his arm around and places a gentle kiss on you. And one leg kind of kicks up behind him.
So
And-
you guys,
Yeah, I was gonna say I want to read off the effect of what they get.
oh yeah.
And remember, it's the heightened version. It's the one at the bottom.
Yes. Let me look up the spell because it says at 6th level, so there might be a specific effect.
Yeah, they get a better a better effect.
Huh. Hold on. That's teleport. I need telepathy. There we go. Okay. You can communicate telepathically with Bruce using shared mental imagery, even if you don't share a language. And this range is within 30 feet. So whenever you're within 30 feet of him, you can literally send. It's almost like you have an interior like phone connection where you can send texts and images to him, and he can do the same, only when you're within 30 feet. However, once per day, each bonded creature can use a 2-action activity, which has the concentrate trait, to learn the present state of the other bonded creature. So kind of like status, you will know their direction and distance and any conditions affecting them. Both of you can cast message as a divine innate spell at will, but only targeted the other participant. So, I think message, does that have a range, or is that rangeless?
I think it does, but it increases with heightened, not assets, spells.
Can
I'll
we say it
find it.
becomes rangeless just between them?
Sure. That's easy enough. Message, yeah.
Yeah, so the way it would work essentially is you could cast the spell to do what the spell does for free to him, as long as you're both on the same plane, maybe? I think that's in the message spell, it might do that. Then
I think
when
it's
you
same
guys are
plane,
close-
yeah.
Then when you guys are close by, you have telepathy that isn't an action or any sort of spell, and you can just do that for free, and you can send mental images and shit when you're close.
Oh my god, my husband would hate that.
Bruce is gonna find out a lot about Danny, I think. He might have a false image in his head of who
Yeah.
Danny is, and he's about to learn real quick who he married.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But yeah, can I can you send her the stuff for that?
I can, yeah. Heart bond and telepathy and all that. I can.
Yeah.
And as this ritual is complete, it's a beautiful ceremony. And as Zavid finishes, the statue behind you begins to glow. And 3 of you learn a new spell because you have performed the greater ritual of Bolka in front of a true statue of Bolka. So you've received the greater boon of Bolka. Any of you who have arcane and occult, which spells of 6th level, which I think is Danny, Khan, and Zavid, all learn the spell Collective Transposition, which for 2 actions allows you to teleport you and up to 2 targets to new positions within the area of a 30-foot emanation. Within 30 feet, you can teleport 2 people. The creatures must be able to fit in their new space, and their positions must be unoccupied entirely within the area and in your line of sight. And unwilling creatures can make a will save on it. But basically, you can just move your allies around in a 30-foot space around you. So Khan, Zavid, and Danny all learn a new spell of 6th level. That is the Greater Blessing of Bolka.
Am I able to upcast it, or is it one of those you can cast this for free at 6th?
No, you can upcast it if you'd like.
Hell yeah. So you can increase the amount of people that you poof away, essentially.
Yep.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yes, all 3 of you learn that spell. And Zavid, you learn it as an occult spell, not a divine, because it's not divine.
Fair. Yeah, and then as everyone is like clapping and cheering and crying and pissing and shit, I'm gonna I am going to let you like congratulate you both, and I'm gonna say the benefits that you've received from this ritual only work while you both wear your ring. If you take the ring off, you both lose the benefit temporarily, and if the rings are destroyed, this whole thing is undone. You lose the whole benefit. So keep the rings on, and you will always be able to contact each other whenever you want.
Good advice. These things are made from titanium alloyed up with some cold steel. I don't think nothing's going to break these.
I love when he talks like that.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some victuals to enhance, and I walk down to the food that I made that's been sitting here, and I will cast Enhanced Victuals, which takes more than a round. I think it's like a minute or
I think.
something.
Yeah. 1 to 10.
So
She
from I'm gonna make everything nice and tasty, and everybody can dig in when they want.
She
Yeah.
definitely, like, before you did do that, though, she would definitely give you a hug and just be like, thank you so much for doing this.
All right, now don't get all sentimental on me. What is this, a wedding? And I'm gonna go down the food. I want to eat.
Con, what are you doing? Bawling your eyes up, probably?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's crying. She's crying big time. I guess she'll like go up to Danny and be like, "I'm just so happy for you that you found happiness."
And because she sees Khan crying, she's gonna start crying. Oh,
I'm like,
this is
I'm casting Enhanced Victuals. Oh, God damn it. I will cast Calm if you need me to.
I think they're enjoying the crying, Savid. I think it's fine.
I'm not. So I'm still casting my
Well,
spell.
this isn't about you today, Savid.
Like hell it is. This is my subterranean lair.
Is Reese already digging in? I could see you're in character.
Yes. Digging in. It's definitely, not dinner time where I am with this new sign time.
Oh, yeah. So,
curiosity is oh god, I forget the sibling's name so much. The one that Reese is into.
Mythanar.
What is it?
Mythanar.
Mythanar. She's gonna go up to him. It's him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. She's gonna go up to him and just be like, have you thought of, like, that whole thing?
Well,
Not
dude,
trying to be
he.
suspicious.
I don't know. I've been trying to plan some stuff, but every time I mention it, it seems kind of. I don't know. You always have to go somewhere else, so we haven't really got anything, set in stone yet. But we're working on it.
Do you want me to, like, slide in there and, like, try to help?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe when they get back from like hell or wherever it is they're going, we can get something done.
Timing has just been awful.
At that point, she, like, walks away from him, and then she goes up to Reese,
Mm-hmm.
and she's just like, I think you should marry my brother now.
No, not right now, man. I have food in my mouth. I mean, I want to
Maybe-
marry your brother, but like right now.
I
Like,
mean, Zavita's here. There's food. Grandma's here. We don't know how
I'm
long
gonna
she's gonna
start
be around
charging if you guys keep taking advantage of me.
for.
I
Grandma's
mean-
here. We don't know how long she's gonna be around for. Probably another 5,000 years, but who knows?
I mean,
Look.
the thing is, we have your side of the family, but then we need my father, and then the goblins, and there is a lot.
That's
There's
There's
I'd
nothing
love-
funner than a goblin wedding.
Yeah, there's well, the goblins, he does air quotes. Honestly, I would love to marry your brother in this minute, but I believe there needs to be more planning because my father, you never met him, but he has expectations, but I'm pretty sure that this is subpar to his. It's not glitzy enough. You think I'm extra? My father is worse.
I think he'd want you to do it in Osirian in like his
Yeah,
palace,
yeah.
probably.
We could do it at the palace. We could find a way. Like we have an airship now, so we can make it like a wedding cruise to Osirian.
I love that. Okay.
What we could do. Oh wait, no. Well, you have teleport, right, Danny?
Yes.
Shit. It would be very difficult. I think it'd be easier. Now I'm trying to think of the logistics of Reese's wedding because I'm like, okay, Balak Makar would probably want it there, but at the same time, he's an Ifrit and he understands that like you're very your own person and might want to have other people, like everyone you can at the same place. And Osirian's kind of hard to get to. So it'd be easier for his genies to go to wherever you are. However, he would still want it to be in a lavish place, like maybe the Palace of Druma.
Yeah.
But how do we get everybody from Entrance Folly to Druma?
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, well, we could use the Enshard, but I'm like, do we have an Enshard in Druma? Not yet.
Oh.
We'd have to plant one. We have to prep for this in advance.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd also have to see if, because what we would need to do is you would do the until we find another one of these statues, you do the ritual here, then we'd all go through the Enshard and do the reception at the palace.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Plus, Balak Makar is also currently in the elemental plane of fire.
Yeah, we really
Yeah.
can't just zap him and
Makes sense.
You have to follow up with your mom, I think, first.
yeah.
We got to figure out what's going
We
on with
might
your
want to
mom's
see what's
side.
up with my mom and invite her if things end
Yeah.
up being in a good place.
And
And my sister's not here,
Well, yes, and I
That
was
too.
just thinking, it'd be kind of cool.
and Gunnar's
Um,
not here.
What if the wedding reception took place on the Windseeker? And we had a party ship flying through the air. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Party ship episode would be fun.
Cool. I'm done. Right, now that we've planned for next couple sessions, is this a good place to end?
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
With festivities, drink, food, cake, the night goes. The parties go long into the night as the royal.
At some
wedding-
point,
Hmm?
I'm gonna create a soothing spring, another spell where I can just literally create a hot tub on the ground. So then let's go.
Yes, you
Lasts
make
for an
a-
hour.
everyone is able to get a hot tub on, which is very soothing after the cold land of Skjoldmur up north. But yes, it lasts long into the night, and thus ends the royal wedding of Queen Dany Arion and Bruce Mithralar. And this is where we're going to stop for today. Hope everyone will join us next time. Bye everyone.
Bye.